gentlemen, I don't know. Who's the United States champion? Is Sasha Banks the Raw Women's Champion? Who won the swamp fight? Why was this pay-per-view so garbage? Why did we get a swamp fight that looked like a low-level budget fucking geek at the Sundance Film Festival? I thought Bray Wyatt was a genius. This pay-per-view was absolutely fucking horrendous. We're going to go over it all. We're going to uncover the good. We're going to uncover the bad. We are here live. Jesse and I are going to talk Extreme Fools right here on Off the Script.
This is mine.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your official Extreme Fools 2020, the horror show at Extreme Fools 2020 official review right here on Off the Script. I am joined by the biggest Britt Baker fan in the universe, my buddy Jesse. What's going on, man? Trust me, bro, you would want to see Britt Baker more than what you've seen tonight on Extreme Rules. Give me a break. Come on.
Hey, you know what? I was ready for you and the Britt Baker fans today. I came dressed for you. I know you're a big baseball fan, so I wore your favorite team's jersey. All right? You see that? There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, see, I might have to dump you now. I'm sorry.
See?
I might have
there
to dump
you.
you. This clown is from Chicago, and he's wearing a Yankees jersey. You believe this geek? Unbelievable.
I always like the Yankees. What's wrong with the Yankees? Now, look, I'm a White Sox fan. Let's get that straight.
Okay.
But the Yankees are cool. Yankees are cool. I like the Yankees, man.
All right. I'm sure there's some Yankees fans in the crowd here tonight, in the chat here tonight. We're live. We got 1,100 in the chat. Thank you guys so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. Oh my God, Jesse, what the fuck did we watch tonight? It was like a night of horrors, legitimately. Bruce is an absolute just... I can't even begin to stress what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling right now. I looked at the TV, dude. I'm like, this is it. Supposedly 6 or 7 hours worth of filming, and we get that in the main event of Extreme Rules tonight. What the hell were you thinking when this show went off the air?
What's the big deal? We got some entertainment to take our minds away from everyday life.
We got some entertainment.
Yeah, it was entertainment. See, look, it was you didn't see it. It was a match where one of the wrestlers, they went to school and training, and they got all these years of experience, and so did the other guy, and they came together in a match, and one guy lost the eyeball.
Yeah, an eyeball that was clearly painted in fucking second grade recreational class or whatever the fuck, story time class. I don't know what that was. It looked like paper mache with like red coloring, red crayon for blood. And he tried to hide it, but it popped through his glove. And I thought we were going to get a CGI finish. And then all of a sudden, Vince McMahon gives the edict for Seth Rollins to puke, let's throw up there. And that was actually more disgusting than the fucking eyeball.
He lost an eyeball. Now look, let's look past the fact that everybody in that back area, everybody in the ring, everybody around ringside came there and knew that the stipulation of the match was someone losing an eyeball. And Seth Rollins was the biggest shit talker leading through this whole build and then supposedly someone lost an eyeball, and Seth lost his shit. He didn't expect somebody to lose the eyeball and the eyeball losing match.
Someone in the chat asked, Jesse, are you drinking tonight?
Oh, yeah.
I think he would have to drink to enjoy whatever the fuck he's talking about here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, people, there was puking. Yes, there was vomit in the eye for an eye match. We will go over it all right here in the official review. Again, thank you guys for joining us and choosing us here on Off the Script for your Extreme Rules post-show. We had a pay-per-view that ended right before 9:30, a little bit over 9:30, I would say. And I will take them any day over the pay-per-views that WWE used to do. I take them any day over the week. So I'm glad that we got something that ended relatively quickly. This was a tale of two cities, this show. It started off pretty decently. We got a tag team match with Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura against the New Day. We went into a very good Bayley versus Nikki Cross match. And then after that, this show seemingly just fell off a fucking cliff. And after that, I was like, I can't deal with this shit anymore. And people were already calling for me to come on here and shit on the entire pay-per-view. Sal Rex is texting me, please give them hell tonight. Don't worry, bro. We're going to do exactly that on the post-show here. Shout out to Sal Rex, by the way, who made the great thumbnail that you see in the video. And when you click on the video, that's all Sal Rex. Shout out to @MikeWill87. He took care of the layout. He got me a single layout because he didn't realize I was going to have a guest. And then I told him Jesse wanted to be on the show tonight. And then he made a quick dual layout here with the dual camera boxes. Jesse is with me tonight because he will not be on the Dynamite review on Wednesday. So he asked if he could show up on tonight's podcast. I said, absolutely. We'll shit on WWE for a little bit. I'll take care of Dynamite on Wednesday myself, and we'll be good to go. So it's gonna get ugly here, folks. It's gonna get pretty ugly, and it's nice to have Jesse on the WWE side of things here, shitting on the creative that is Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And we are going to get right into it. So thank you guys so much for joining us here. Follow me on Twitter @JD206. If you missed Off the Script on Saturday, go and check that out. The official playlist is linked down below. I went live earlier this afternoon at lunchtime. We did preview and predictions for Extreme Rules. I went solo, and that was great. We had over 1,300 people watching us live in the early afternoon, getting you guys ready for Extreme Rules this evening. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys go and check out Audible and get their service. 30 days free of the service and one free audiobook of your choice. You guys got over 200,000 choices to choose from, so check out Audible. It's a great way to support me and a great way to support them. They've been with me for pretty much the duration of Off the Script. If you guys want to hit that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see the live audience here. We got 1,500 and only 400 likes, man. Let's get that like ratio up. I would really appreciate it. It helps out the channel and the video. And if you're new around here and you appreciate what we're doing and you enjoy what we're doing and you agree with the takes here, or even if you don't agree, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. We are on our way to 118,000 subscribers. We are the demo gods of the IWC. I'm not going to steal Jericho's gimmick like I did Rollins, but yes, that is factual information. Anyway, let's get into the top of the show. We got Kevin Owens and Buddy Murphy in the pre-show. I love Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy is excellent. He is so good at what he does. Kevin Owens and Buddy Murphy in the pre-show. We got a very good match here that I do believe is going to spill into SummerSlam. I do think we're going to get Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, being that Rollins took care of Rey Mysterio tonight in that eye for an eye match. We will obviously go over that in a little bit. But Kevin Owens defeated Buddy Murphy in the pre-show, and Murphy charged at Owens right at the start of the bell. Owens avoided. Owens attempted a stunner. Murphy slipped out. Murphy took over. Owens quickly recovered and tried a second stunner. Murphy avoided and rocked Owens with a jumping knee. I love Buddy Murphy's jumping knees. They are really Kenny Omega-esque for a near fall. Owens briefly fought back. Murphy locked into a sleeper. Owens broke free. Murphy recovered, jumped off the middle turnbuckle, but Owens hit a beautiful DDT. Absolutely planted Buddy Murphy. Owens attempted the senton, but Murphy got his knees up. Owens then hit a cannonball in the corner for a very close near fall. They fought onto the top turnbuckle. Murphy pushed Owens off, hit a Meteora for a near fall of his own. Owens attempted a pop-up powerbomb, but Murphy escaped. Murphy hit 2 absolutely vicious knees and then followed up with a brainbuster for a near fall. They fought back up to the top turnbuckle again. Owens knocked Murphy down with a headbutt, and Jesse in one of the best spots of the entire night. And Owens is so good at what he does. He is freakishly athletic for a man his size. In an awesome spot, Owens jumped up from the second turnbuckle into a moonsault off the top rope, right onto Buddy Murphy for a close near fall. Murphy recovered, climbed up to the top. Owens avoided Murphy. Owens hit a super kick, followed up with a stunner for the win. Paint by numbers stuff here in the pre-show. Pretty basic. It sells the fact that Owens is probably going after Seth Rollins. What'd you think of Murphy and Owens? And do you think Owens is going to be put into a program now again, which nobody cares about, with Seth Rollins going into SummerSlam? What are your thoughts?
It was a match by the numbers. It was KO and Murphy like we expected it. Kevin Owens and Kevin Steen has been doing that second to the third top moonsault his whole career, man. It's been beautiful every time he's ever done it. He looked a little hesitant this time he did it, though. Looked like he was want to make sure he had his bearings and everything else. Maybe Mr. Steen is getting a bit up there in age, but I mean, how can you not like everything Kevin Owens does in the ring, man? It's just fantastic. Murphy is just another wasted talent. They don't care what happens with Murphy.
He's so good, though, man. Murphy, I've been a big fan of Buddy Murphy for a couple of years now, and it sucks that he's just in this middle-of-the-road, type of role. Obviously, he was brought to Monday Night Raw because Paul Heyman, who's no longer there anymore as executive director, he found Buddy Murphy to be a top-tier guy. He wanted to push Buddy Murphy. He wanted to build Monday Night Raw around a guy like Murphy, Aleister Black, Andrade, Angel Garza, etc., etc. Now I just feel like with new management there, they don't really appreciate who he is, and he's just going to be a lackey to Seth Rollins, and it seems like he's never going to get the opportunity to really shine when we all know he's probably one of the best wrestlers that they have in that entire company.
Absolutely. And they knew that when they called him up. That's why he got called up, for his in-ring work. And so they called him up, and then they decided that the main roster was not about in-ring work. So all these guys that got called up from NXT with this phenomenal in-ring work are sitting around backstage. I mean, they have no room for wrestling on this wrestling show.
Now, if they do book Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens going into SummerSlam, which I would suspect that they do, we know Kevin Owens beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That should have ended there, but WWE is so lazy and they are so uncreative that they're now going with this program again, and I've stressed that they gave away Rollins and Aleister Black so many times already on free TV on Monday Night Raw, and it meant nothing when they did it. It humanized Aleister Black in the process because he doesn't look anything like he used to do in NXT. But now if they book this match, do you fear that they're going to go and do 50-50 booking? Because if they're going back and reliving this program, Owens seemingly put Rollins away. Now, if they do it again, it seems like Rollins has to get his victory back, especially after beating Rey Mysterio tonight. Is that what's going to happen, 50-50 booking?
Maybe and maybe not. But either way, I'm kind of already tired of Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. So, I mean, it's what they've been just dealing with since WrestleMania, and then just teasing us with this whole, spring into summer. And what's changed? I mean, nothing has changed. Yeah, I thought we got rid of the Seth Rollins issue as far as Kevin Owens was concerned. Now we're right back to it. And the pay-per-view before, Kevin Owens is in the pre-show doing what? So I don't even want to see that match anymore unless the dynamic has changed in some sort of way. So to be honest, so right now, if they're building to the match, no matter what the outcome is, it'll be a great match because it's Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. But in the end of it, what's the purpose of it?
I feel like, I don't know what it is. I do feel, and I'm probably sure that you feel the same way. This entire brand, Raw, SmackDown, this entire brand, WWE brand, needs a complete, and I mean a complete overhaul. I feel like Drew McIntyre at the top on Monday Night Raw has absolutely no heels at all. That's why they're going with Randy Orton. He's the only one that makes sense right now, especially with what he's doing with Edge and how great he's been performing. This is the best Randy Orton has looked in many years. There's no top-level heels on Monday Night Raw. to go against Drew McIntyre. SmackDown has the problem of, okay, they don't have any baby faces because it's probably inevitable at this point that Bray Wyatt's going to win the Universal Championship back. There's no heels on Monday Night Raw, and there's no baby faces on SmackDown for their top champions to feud with. Are we in dire need of a shakeup or a draft or something to completely reset these rosters? Because right now, things are absolutely stagnant the way that they stand.
It is what it is. They have the talent and the top tier talent. We should be sitting there looking at Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins and getting excited about it. And I'm just sitting here like, man, I kind of hope they don't do that one. I mean, at what point should we ever not want to see that match? I mean, so it's, I kind of want to take some of the blame off of them because of what's going on, but at the same time, even if I did that, given what they had to work with, they still dropped the ball with all of that. So it's just disappointing, man.
Yeah, they did. They should have. I absolutely agree. I'm just giving the point in which it stands right now because they failed to build new stars. They failed to get anybody over. Andrade Garza should have been at the top or at least building up to that. Aleister Black should have been at least building himself up to that. Kevin Owens is there. They just keep pushing him and then scaling him back for whatever reason. It really is a mess right now on both brands. But, I mean, whatever we talk about here with Kevin Owens and Buddy Murphy, two talented guys, they just feel like they're in the middle of the road, not really doing much of anything important. But it was a very good pre-show match for what it was. Kevin Owens gets the victory, more than likely going to continue his feud with Seth Rollins going into SummerSlam. We got a tag team title match to open the actual show. That was Extreme Rules. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Big E versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, they played up to the narrative of the New Day not being able to beat Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. The fact that Nakamura and Cesaro had the New Day's number, and they pushed that the last 2 weeks several times on commentary, which got my brain juices flowing. What if they are going to do Cesaro and Nakamura as new tag team champions? Normally, for everybody watching, when WWE knows that something is predictable and knows that the fan base on social media is kind of keyed in on what more than likely is going to happen, if it's overly predictable, they will do everything to do the opposite, to pretty much say, ha ha, you guys were wrong. And that's exactly what they did tonight with Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. We have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Why? I'll tell you why in a second, but let's get into the match. First of all, we noticed this both because we were texting back and forth during the show. Greg Hamilton, the SmackDown ring announcer, was prominent during every other SmackDown title match on this show. He was not in the ring for this tag team title match. This was a title match. WWE set a new edict that ring announcers are only to be in the ring, present with the performers during a title match. He was not in the ring during this title match, but he was in the ring during every other SmackDown title match on this show. And it makes me wonder how little this company cares about the tag team championships in WWE. That's the only thing I could possibly come up with. I even said to Jesse, because he brought it up to me, I'm like, bro, it's the tag team titles, fuck tag team wrestling. So I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but I found that to be hilarious that Greg Hamilton was not in the ring to announce this title match, but the tag team titles are irrelevant in WWE, so I'm not surprised. Now, this was a tables match. Cesaro beat Big E on SmackDown. That's how we got here. They were able to choose the stipulation. No tags here. This is pretty much a Texas Tornado match. All chaos. I enjoy these types of matches. New Day brought in the first table. Shin and Cesaro stopped them immediately. Cesaro got thrown into the steel steps. Kofi delivered a missile dropkick into Cesaro against the steel steps. Very nice spot there. New Day set up another table in the aisleway and wanted to put Cesaro through it, but Nakamura saved him. Cesaro then started using the steps against Big E. They took the table in the ring that the New Day brought in, set it up. Both climbed up top looking for a move on Kofi, but Big E saved Kofi. Cesaro then tried a military press on Kofi. He wanted to throw him through the table to the outside, but Big E speared Cesaro through the ropes and stopped that. New Day positioned Cesaro on the top of the table outside. Kofi wanted Big E to launch him over the top through the table, but Nakamura saved Cesaro, lifted the table, and smashed the table into Kofi on the way down. That was a very cool spot there. 2-on-1 now. Big E They looked at the table outside from inside the ring. Big E broke away, went for a spear again. He was kneed in the face. More 2-on-1. Nakamura grabbed another table from underneath the ring. Kofi, legitimately out of nowhere off the top rope, hit a beautiful trust fall off the top to the outside on Nakamura. New Day back in control here. New Day grabbed another table from underneath the ring and stacked this one on top of the one that was already outside. This came into play towards the finish of the match. Big E went for a superplex. Nakamura stopped him. Cesaro and Big E off the top tees, going through a table outside. Cesaro then with the Cesaro swing. Nakamura delivered a Kinshasa while Cesaro had the Cesaro swing. Kofi fired up. 2-on-1, took out both guys. Then that came to a stop when Kofi tried to deliver what was a Hurricane Rana, I believe, through the table off the top rope. Cesaro stopped that Hurricane Rana, and then Nakamura came over with an assisted powerbomb off the top rope. This was fucking brutal. Put Kofi through the table, 2 tables to the outside. Absolutely murdered this man. And we have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions in Cesaro and Nakamura. Jesse, what do you think of this? And I talked about this on the pre-show earlier. I was not surprised when this happened. There is no tag teams. There are no tag teams in the tag team division on SmackDown. Miz and Morrison are on shaky terms right now. Forgotten Sons are legitimately forgotten. Heavy Machinery is completely just gone. They've disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Otis and his Money in the Bank briefcase. And the Lucha House Party are probably out drunk somewhere in Mexico. So they are a non-factor here as well in the tag team division. They won this match because they have no other choices for a tag team title match at SummerSlam, and they figured Cesaro and Nakamura are a good transitional team for 4 weeks, and this gets them another rematch in a stipulation match of some sort at SummerSlam. And what WWE really wants is that 9-time reign for the New Day at SummerSlam, upping their ante in the record books. That's exactly why they did what they did. What did you think?
It's possible. I mean, but here's another problem now. Now that Cesaro went on this tirade about how he's overlooked too much and how he doesn't get the opportunities, and now they gave him the titles, if they take it off of him in a month and they wind up losers again, is there any coming back from that? He's going to look as bad as Dolph Ziggler does right now.
Well, I don't really know. Again, I don't think that WWE's even going to think that far into it. But my I guess logic here or thought process behind it all is all they see is a dwindling tag team division. Cesaro is a good bench player. Let's put him in. He'll get the job done. We'll give it right back to the New Day, but then they're going to be right back to square one anyway when the New Day wins the tag team championships back. What heel tag team is there going to be to challenge the New Day after they win the tag team titles back for a 9th time? There is nobody. I've been saying this for years. Merge the fucking divisions. Merge the divisions.
Unless they have an ace up their sleeve that we don't know about, like maybe they got the Usos coming back and they can get the Usos as champions versus the New Day. We've never seen that before.
Really? I've never seen that before either. That sounds like a fresh matchup. That sounds so exciting.
New
matchups, man. Holy shit. Usos versus New Day, man. I can't wait.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Fuck out of here, man. That's exactly what Bruce would do. This is the thought process of this old fuck.
Oh,
that's exactly what he would do. Tag team wrestling is dead in WWE. Fucking dead. It's so disgusting how Impact and AEW are doing it right, and WWE is just, I don't give a shit. Look at the fucking talent that they got. Jesse just got done talking about. Look at the talent that they have. They don't even know how to use it.
Nope. But they want to sign more people. They want to do this. They want to do that. They want to go out and they don't use the talent they have. So I don't understand why they're going out and getting new free agents. I don't understand why a free agent would want to sign there, seeing that they have talent that they don't use. So
I don't know if especially if you're a tag team. If you're a tag team on the indies coming into the WWE, it's like a death sentence. If you're an NXT and are a tag team, it's a death sentence.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine what people are thinking about like you're going to bring up the Undisputed Era to the main roster, and this is what is awaiting them. After all the classics that they had in NXT, this is what awaits them. Nothing.
You know what? You know how they do the superstar shakeup in the draft? You know how they used to do the commissioners? Like they have the SmackDown commissioner and then they'll have the Raw commissioner. They should have Titus up there as one of the commissioners and just draft people straight to fucking catering, bro. It should be Titus right there. I'll take that one. Straight to catering. And get past the middleman. Just give him straight to fucking catering.
You know who's in catering or will be in catering? Apollo. Apollo is destined for catering, bro.
Oh, my God, dude.
That's where he was tonight. He didn't want to leave catering so much because Titus had a blueberry cobbler coming out of the oven. I know it.
Nah, I don't know, man. I don't think Titus is legally allowed to leave his house right now. I think there's a reason.
Anyway, man, tag team wrestling is dead in WWE. Good for Cesaro and Nakamura getting the rub, but it means absolutely nothing at the end of the day because it's going right back to the new day. WWE only did what they did because they need a match for SummerSlam because there is no other teams right now in WWE on that SmackDown brand. Bayley versus Nikki Cross. Remember, folks, C in Cross is for cringe. This is Nicole Cross. The real Nikki Cross died in NXT for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Jesse, this was actually very good for what it was. Bayley is right now probably the hottest woman outside of Sasha Banks in WWE. She is doing just the Lord's work as a heel. You mentioned it to me via text during the show. The difference between Bayley being obnoxious and the Iconics being obnoxious is that Bayley is doing the obnoxious thing right and the Iconics are just fucking garbage.
Yeah, I mean, there is a thin line in between real life and pro wrestling. The same way that, kayfabe in real life. Well, there's obnoxious and then there's obnoxious. The Iconics are just ridiculously obnoxious. But Sasha and Bayley, they are the obnoxious that you want to see in the ring. And that you want to see them be obnoxious. And even if you don't, you can still appreciate their wrestling and you'll be even happier when they lose. The Iconics are just obnoxious. They can't wrestle. You don't want to see them. Why are they even here?
Bayley, I mentioned on the pre-show, I mentioned that the only way to book Bayley from here on out until we finally see Splitsville with Sasha Banks is for her to cheat to win. And I'm glad WWE kept that intact. I love it. Bayley obviously doesn't need to cheat to win, but it's almost like that Lois Griffin episode of Family Guy. Now, I'm not sure if you remember, Jesse, where she goes on this stealing spree, and then Joe Swanson sees this big picture mural in her kitchen, and she sees all these, he sees all these fancy things while he's having dinner at the Griffin's household, and she's got a stealing problem. She continues to go to the store and steal just anything. It's addicting. And I feel like that's what Bayley is doing. She's so power hungry right now. She knows that she can get over everybody, and she needs to go and just feed that addiction to cheating. And I love the fact that she's cheating because it just plays so good into what she's been doing as a heel. Do you like that she's cheating, or do you think they need to scale it back and kind of have Bayley somewhat be Bayley and then use that sometimes, or do you like the cheating all the time?
Family Guy is stupid, man.
Say again? Family Guy, what?
But whatever. So
Family Guy, whoa. Family Guy is stupid?
Look, man, I'm not getting into this shit with you right all right?
Bro, I'm going to have to dump you, bro. No Britt Baker, Yankee jersey, Family Guy is trash. What's wrong with you?
They just rehashed everything the Simpsons did when the Simpsons were good.
Oh.
So forget it, man. The Simpsons were good. Family Guy was always trash.
All right. Answer the fucking question.
Fucking Britt Baker, Family Guy, whatever, man. All right, look. Bayley is being, you think it's Sasha. I'm telling you, I think Bayley has been booked the absolute best out of any talent in WWE over the last few months. I think when she's cheated has been warranted. When she wins clean is warranted. Bayley's gimmick almost asked her to cheat to win, only because you can't be a role model and then win clean and do everything straight by the book every time and be a heel. That just means she's fucking right. So she has to cheat and look like she can't get the job done and then call herself a role model and everything else, because Bayley is the real goddamn role model in women's wrestling right now.
Yes, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. And so is Sasha. They're the golden role models. But Britt Baker's a nice third place here. Just drink your cold beverage, man. Let me get into the fucking details of the match here. So we got Nikki Cross and the narrative that she doesn't believe in herself here. So she doesn't believe she can beat Bayley. Everybody's kind of, pepping her up, and Alexa Bliss is there. You can do it. You can do it. And Bayley is gloating and doing her heel shtick. Nikki Cross, sees for cringe, by the way, went right after her finisher and got a very close near fall. Bayley on the outside, Cross with a DDT, running crossbody block on the outside, flying crossbody block off the top rope for some near falls. Match was paced very quickly in the first 2 or 3 minutes, and then Bayley slowed it down significantly, working over Nikki Cross very methodically. So she caught Nikki up in the ring skirt on the apron and started yelling at Michael Cole, all while Nikki Cross, at this time, crawled underneath the ring, popped up, surprised Sasha Banks on the opposite side. She was still in the ring skirt, so this confused Bayley. Back in the ring, Nikki was mocking Bayley and applying a crossface. Bayley got out and delivered a Bayley to Bayley for a 2 count. Bayley places Nikki on the top turnbuckle, superplex, 2 count. Nikki with a surprise roll-up and got a 2 count because Bayley was arguing with the referee. Nikki hits a reverse DDT. Both women are down. Running forearms, dropkick, and a bulldog by Cross. She goes up top, misses, rolls through. I don't know what she was going for, but she rolls through. Nikki hits a neck breaker for a 2 count. 2 back suplexes. Cross goes for a cover, only gets a 2 count. Commentary telling the story of Cross not knowing how to put Bayley away being frustrated. Bayley tried to charge at Nikki, hit the second turnbuckle. Nikki with a neck breaker off the ring apron to the outside. Both ladies back in the ring, back and forth clotheslines with Nikki getting another near fall. Sasha, at the end of the match, finally got involved. She handed Bayley her boss brass knuckles as she went over to distract the referee. Bayley nailed Nikki in the ribcage. She then drove Nikki face first into the mat and got the 1, 2, 3. Comparing this ending to the other women's match, this looked like it was booked beautifully. The other women's match looked like it was booked by Vince Russo in WCW 2000. Complete fucking garbage. We'll get into that in a second. But this was very good for what it was. The right woman won. There was absolutely no way anybody thought Nikki Cross was going to win. And if the story is revolving around Sasha and Bayley, there's no reason to take that SmackDown Women's Championship off of Bayley. What'd you think of the match, Jesse? Right outcome. And what'd you think of the ending where Sasha got involved with the brass knuckles?
I think for 75% of this match, it was looking like the best women's match I've seen this year. And then they got to the end, and it just kind of unfolded, and it almost kind of undid what they did to start the match. I mean, it was just so good, man. Sasha is so underrated at what she is really, really good at. Sasha sold all of Asuka's big spots like a professional salesman, man. She was just so awesome in it and everything else. It's almost like when she could tell when Asuka would like lose her footing or something like that.
Oh, we're talking about Bayley and Nikki Cross, though. We're not talking about Asuka and Sasha yet.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm thinking about Sasha and Asuka.
yeah. Retain that and talk about it in a little bit. But we're talking about Bayley and Nikki Cross.
I got ahead in my notes.
Yeah, he's excited for it. We all genuinely were excited for that match, and then all of a sudden it fell off a fucking cliff. Because that's what we were talking about before the stream started. But the Nikki Cross and Bayley match was very good for what it was, and then Sasha got involved with the brass knuckles. Obviously, it was the right outcome, and I felt like it was very good for what Bayley did. Was it the right outcome, and what'd you think of Sasha getting involved there? It was just very simple, nicely paced, and was just well executed for the ending.
I think the match, I get it right. The match was fine. It was Nikki and it was Bayley and it was fine. That's what they do. It was nothing extraordinary about it. They didn't do anything terrible. It didn't stink up. It is what it was. The match didn't make any sense for as far as it being booked either. And yeah, nobody thought Nikki was gonna win, and it was fine. She needed to cheat to win though. I think that was important in the story being told. I think Bayley needed to cheat to win. So I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was anything special though.
Yeah, well, it wasn't something that I'm gonna go back and watch. I'm not gonna really herald this as a women's classic. It's not gonna be in the best women's matches of the entire year. It got the job done. We move on from Bayley and Nikki Cross, hopefully, but the ending kind of leaves it open-ended a little bit, which I'm afraid of because, you know, she cheated to win again, and maybe this gives Nikki Cross another, I guess, opportunity to, I guess, go to management and say, listen, you know, I got robbed again. How many more times do I have to lose because of something that's not my fault? So I hope that it really is over and done with. But again, just like the tag team division on SmackDown, there is nobody else in the women's division. There's Naomi, but I don't see them giving Naomi a shot. I don't really foresee that happening unless all of this Naomi deserves better gets her on TV and gets her into a priority spot because everybody's been asking for it. But who else is there for Bayley on SmackDown now that they are pretty much going to, I guess, move on with this Sasha Bayley storyline for a little bit?
No one. Vanessa Bourne. And look,
God, no.
Yeah. I just think Nikki's in this spot right now, and I don't want to put this out in the world, but almost like it feels like she's just holding that spot for Alexa Bliss to come along and take the title from Bayley.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope to God not. I really hope to God not.
I mean, think about it. They're tag team partners, and you get Cross in a title match at Extreme Rules. What's next for Bayley? What's Alexa Bliss doing? We know how much they love Alexa Bliss. We know it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, so. I could actually, now that you mention it, I could actually see that happening at SummerSlam. So maybe we get Sasha versus Asuka again in some type of stipulation. I don't know. I don't know where they're going, but it looks like that they've prolonged the Sasha and Bayley storyline, which, again, I said it on Friday when I covered SmackDown. I would not mind if they did. And it seems like they are going and doing that. So we will see what happens moving forward.
It looked like prolonging it sounds like a good idea. I mean, honestly, what I would have done, I mean, if I would have somehow had Bayley lose the title to Nikki and then have Sasha win, and because Sasha helped Bayley lose, because Sasha wanted to be Sasha 2 belts while Bayley had only one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned something like this on the podcast earlier this afternoon, and I even tweeted it out this afternoon. I wasn't sure if WWE was going to go and do what they did, but we don't even know if Sasha is legitimately the Raw Women's Champion. They may turn around and just reverse the decision on Monday. Again, we don't know, but I think her holding the Raw Women's Championship is, I guess, more of a... It leaves the storyline in a way that it's more intriguing with her as champion because... I don't know if you watched the show. I think you watched the show earlier. I got tipped in on a creative idea that I don't know if it's going to be a thing that they're going to use, but my guy told me that what if Sasha wins the Raw Women's Championship and they go to Survivor Series and they are actually pitted against each other after cheating and overcoming all these obstacles, cheating to win. Now they're looking at Survivor Series where they have to captain a Raw and SmackDown team against each other, and that's where the split happens. What do you think about that? You think that serves as a better storyline for the split, or should it be the jealousy of what you discussed with, one having 2 belts and the other only having 1 and the jealousy back and forth?
I like the theory and the idea of what he was saying, and it makes sense. But again, that is putting a lot of faith in WWE's long-term booking. Yeah. More faith. I mean, because look, we can start off that way, but by the time we get to November, do we think it's still going to be in that kind of shape to have that kind of match? I don't think it will be. I mean, that's why I was kind of thinking that I was hoping they would start wrapping this up soon before they messed it up. So I mean, and they can they've already started teasing the breakup. They can easily just start putting these titles. Like I texted you earlier, the feud is awesome. And I'm glad that they got the titles on these women and spotlight them and everything else because that's what it needs to be done right now. But I think putting all of the titles on them and having it bleed into November, it's just going to be about Sasha and Bayley being over and the rest of the division just kind of being left behind. Especially when you can put at least 2 of those titles somewhere else and Sasha and Bayley technically don't even need any of them. I mean, yeah, one of those titles will help the feud, but they don't need any of those titles to put on the main event match.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and my guy actually did mention that, and I don't think it's going to be that bad of an idea to put them in a situation where they have all the championships because knowing Sasha, and I don't really know them, obviously I don't know them, but just knowing how they are as performers, they want the best for the women's division, no question. So I think in that time, even though they're kind of holding the championships hostage, they will be building everybody up through the work and letting the work shine in the women's division during that time. And then it comes to a point where they split. The Raw Women's Championship comes off Sasha Banks. The SmackDown Women's Championship comes off Bayley. And when it comes time for them to split, it's not even going to be about the championship. So they have this feud boiling over. It's about to hit a tipping point. They're not fighting for the championships anymore. They're fighting over, I'm better than you,
right.
Bayley's better than Sasha, Sasha's better than Bayley type of storyline. And then they've helped the division kind of enhance itself. And now you got maybe Bianca Belair coming along and kind of enhancing herself, or Shayna Baszler coming along, or Ruby Riott. Maybe Ruby Riott and Bianca Belair win those tag team championships from Sasha and Bayley, take it back down to NXT, enhance the division through that means. But I do think just knowing who they are, they're going to enhance the division and then kind of spread the wealth when it really needs to come to that point.
I like the idea that he had, but I would do it like this. If you're going to try to stretch it out that long, like you just said, the tag titles need to come off of them, and Sasha needs to be champion on one brand, and Bayley needs to be champion on the other brand, and you need to split them up and then bring them back together at Survivor Series. Because as much as I love these two women, I don't know if I'm going to be happy about seeing these two every week, 3 times a week from now through November.
Yeah.
So
it's a very interesting situation. They have a lot that they can do to make it interesting. And if Sasha and Bayley have any say in what's going on here, they'll write their own story, and we'll get it the way it needs to be. But whatever Bayley and Nikki Cross did tonight was very good. The right outcome was Bayley winning. She cheated to win. I liked it. And hopefully we move on from that and we get a much better story moving forward with Bayley and Sasha Banks enhancing what they're doing. Apollo Crews does not show up and somehow forfeits the United States Championship to MVP. Now, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this. I tweeted out, I wish WWE would be real with us for a second. If Apollo Crews has COVID, they should come out and say Apollo Crews has COVID and he's not able to be in the building tonight. And I tweeted that, and my boy Kedrick in Orlando stated that he knows somebody that's seen Apollo Crews in the local supermarket down there with his wife. So I don't know what's going on. He's obviously not sick, because I believe him. He works in and around the Orlando area. He sees all the superstars all the time. And he's not sick. So I don't know what's going on. The only thing I could come to a conclusion on here is that WWE cannot wait to strip Apollo Crews of that United States Championship and put it on Bobby Lashley, because Apollo Crews was a Paul Heyman guy, and that's all I got. And it sucks, because Apollo Crews deserves much better than that.
Well, this was their chance. Then why didn't they?
I don't know.
This made no sense. If that's what they want to do, bring him on down, finagle some crap to get the match with Lashley instead of MVP and make it happen. I don't see why is he not on TV? They changed the title without him. They got the title on TV without him.
Dude, they took him out of Money in the Bank with a storyline injury, and they played up him being out because of Andrade. He chased Andrade for the United States Championship, beat Andrade after a storyline injury that he came back from, won the title. He's been off TV more than he's actually been on TV defending the championship. And now he's out again in a storyline injury for no reason. Gave the championship, I guess, away. I don't know what the fuck they did. They had MVP go and unveil a new championship. He's not even the fucking United States champion. Nobody wanted to see MVP in the fucking ring anyway against Apollo Crews tonight, so they spared us on that, thank Christ. But if you don't want Apollo Crews as champion, then have him drop the fucking championship to Bobby Lashley and get it over with. And have Bobby Lashley maybe go one-on-one with Kevin Owens, or Bobby Lashley versus somebody else. Aleister Black for the United States Championship. They could have went in a multitude of directions, yet here we are burying Apollo Crews on Monday Night Raw every single fucking week.
Remind me again why Sami Zayn is not IC champion?
Because he opted to stay home because he didn't want to wrestle with the coronavirus.
No, that's not what they told us.
Well, he's injured.
Yeah, well, why is Apollo Crews still champion?
Why is Apollo Crews? Maybe, what, you mean to tell me he actually went to management and said, I don't feel comfortable wrestling here. I have a new kid at home and blah, blah, blah?
For whatever the story is, they keep telling us that Apollo Crews isn't cleared and he's not champion. They told us that's why they took the belt from Sami Zayn. So why have they just stripped it from Apollo Crews?
I don't know. It's a good point. The other point I want to make is MVP was interviewed by fucking Caleb Braxton backstage on the kickoff show, and he acted as if this match was going to happen. Don't you think MVP in that moment would have known that Apollo Crews did not pass his before action physical, or what the fuck they call it, his screening before the show actually started? You mean to tell me he got pre-screened for his match 5 minutes before the bell rung? You think he would have known then?
or management would have said something, rescheduled or replaced them in the match or did something. They just did nothing.
So at the end of this, we don't know if Apollo Crews is going to be back on TV. We don't know if he's the United States champion. We don't know if MVP now is the official United States champion. They have certainly acted like it. So what does that mean? Who does he lose the title to? Because the story was Apollo beating MVP tonight, more than likely going up against Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam, dropping the title to Lashley, and then Apollo's off TV. Now, I don't know what they do. And MVP and Bobby Lashley, I'm not a big fan of either, but they've actually been a very good pairing together. So I don't know where they go from here with these two guys going into SummerSlam.
They have been, and I'm like you. I've been entertained by what they've been doing. I cannot believe I'm sitting here in 2020 saying I'm enjoying Bobby Lashley right now.
Listen, this is the way he should have been booked. He's been still. It was his birthday last week, and he actually said on social media, the only thing I want for my birthday is Brock Lesnar.
That's the only
That's
thing.
The sad fucking thing. They won't even give him that match, and everybody would love to see that match.
That's all he's ever wanted. They booked Lashley like shit when they started his return. Nobody wanted to see it. Now they're booking him the way he should be booked. Now we wouldn't mind seeing it, and we're never going to get it.
Of course not, because WWE hates their fans, people. They hate us. Just like with this fucking show. Seems like this show is full of non-conclusions.
Oh, God. We got
Seth Rollins, the fake Messiah, versus Rey Mysterio. This was an eye for an eye match. This stipulation was fucking stupid going in. And I mentioned this time and time and time again. I think you even told me, Jesse, that we watch pro wrestling knowing it's a scripted program. We know going in what to believe and what not to believe, what is real, what is total fucking bullshit. They somehow wanted us to believe that somebody was going to get their fucking eye pulled tonight. And this was the premise of this entire match for 3 or 4 weeks leading up to tonight. Nobody in their right mind believed that somebody was going to have their eyeball pulled out.
No, man. I mean, look, you want us to believe that one man stood there and took a suplex from another man and then it hurt and everything else. We get it. We're down with it. We're in on the joke. We're in on the story. But please don't make us look stupid when we invite other friends over and say, hey, come watch this wrestling match. Okay, what's going on? All right, this dude's going to pull this dude's eye out. They get up and leave. I mean,
well, it's better than watching 4 fucking women sing karaoke. Right? I think so.
I don't know. I mean, at least they would sit there and stand there and watch the women because they're gorgeous to look at. I mean, other than that, why am I going to sit there and watch a match where you telling me some dude's going to pull another dude's eyeball out? They put people on the shelf for months in WWE for having an eye injury, but now they're going to sanction a match where you can rip one guy's eye out.
I said this same exact thing on the pre-show earlier. They booked an unsanctioned fucking match between Randy Orton and The Big Show for Monday Night Raw, which was supposed to be on the show tonight. Thank Christ it was not on the show because I don't know if I could have sat there and watched a Big Show match on this horrendous show tonight. But they booked an unsanctioned match with Randy Orton and Big Show on Monday Night Raw, yet somehow someone in management sanctioned this match where the only outcome could be someone's eyeball has to be plucked out of their fucking eye socket. I'd love to know how that seeped through management. These are the little things, folks. I hate the little things that they miss. Why and how, I don't know. I really don't.
We went a couple of the years without Daniel Bryan in our wrestling lives because they were concerned for his safety, but then they sanctioned an eyeball removal match.
Yeah.
Fuck.
An eye for an eye match where there was no pinfall, which I'll get to in a second, because I do think the lack of pinfalls here kind of hurt the match. And it was an eye for an eye match. Rollins came down immediately with a pair of pliers. The only way to win this thing is to pluck an eyeball out of your opponent's eye socket. And I'm seeing them do Hurricane Karanas and head scissors and fucking snap suplexes and fucking arm drags. I mean, what the fuck? Go for the goddamn toolbox and reach for the most vile weapon possible. That's all you gotta do. And I'm seeing a legit wrestling match here. Did not make any sense whatsoever. Because I know if I'm going to have my fucking eyeball plucked out, I'm not going to do a fucking arm drag.
I would wear goggles.
Or that. Wear goggles. Yes.
I would wear goggles.
Cover your eyeballs. Come out with eye patches, glue them to your fucking head. I got Gorilla Glue in the fucking cabinet over here. You need some? Fucking shit. Rollins pulled a pair of pliers out of his jacket during his ring entrance, stared at them with this crazy look on his face. Mysterio had an early advantage. Rollins hit a sling blade to recover. Rollins tried to pull Mysterio's eye out immediately, but Mysterio fought back. Mysterio grabbed the pliers and went after Rollins' eye himself. Mysterio pulled out a table and a toolbox from underneath the ring. Mysterio then brought in a ring bar or some tool that they put the ring together with. Rollins fought back with the kendo stick he pulled out from the other side of the ring. This was a pretty decent spot here. Mysterio tried to give Rollins a head scissors off the apron, but Rollins reversed it into a Falcon Arrow on the ring apron. Rollins went after Mysterio's eye and tried to pull it out. Rollins tried to take out Mysterio's eye with the steps, like the original time where he left Rey Mysterio with one eyeball for weeks. Rollins tried to jam the kendo stick in Mysterio's eye, but he fought out of it. Rollins tossed Mysterio under the bottom rope to the floor. Mysterio crashed into the table. Slip and slide, Mysterio. It's hot outside. Rollins tried to jam a chair leg into Mysterio's eye. The commentary was going crazy. Oh my God, how could he do this? It's only a steel chair, Phillips. It's got rubber bottoms. Please, it's not that fucking big of a deal. Rollins tried sticking a pen in Mysterio's eye. And then Rollins charged Mysterio. He went for the eye first into the announce table on the corner of the desk. Rollins recovered and tied up Mysterio with rope. He was not really tied up. He got out of it pretty quickly. And Mysterio escaped. Rollins stuck a kendo stick in the ring post and tried to slam Mysterio's face into it. Mysterio avoided all of that, made a comeback. He hit a seated senton, tilt-a-whirl, head scissors, frog splash. All of these things are absolutely crucial in taking somebody's eyeball out. Mysterio went for the eye again, but Rollins fought out. Ringside now. Outside, Rollins got Mysterio in an electric chair, but Mysterio rocked him with the kendo stick. Mysterio reversed that and sent Rollins into the barricade. Mysterio then breaks a kendo stick over his knee, and he's got the bamboo sticks of the kendo stick now, and he tried to jam it in Rollins' left eye. Rollins covered his eye, crawled back into the middle of the ring. Mysterio then hit the 619. Rollins recovered and tried to jam Rollins' eye against the ring steps. Mysterio then took off the bandage covering his eye and showed the damage from before, I guess. Mysterio fought back and rammed Rollins' eye into the steps. Rollins used a low blow and a super kick against the barricade. This is the end of the match here, folks. Rollins hit a curb stomp on the floor, and then Rollins jammed the injured eye into the steps again. Rollins set up for another move, but Mysterio started screaming. They did a quick shot of Mysterio as he was laying on his back. His eye popped, supposedly, his eye popped out. You've seen a fake eyeball kind of in between his fingers. And then all of a sudden in the corner, Rollins is puking his guts up, which was actually more disturbing than the fucking eyeball. Officials and referees come over, they cover Mysterio's head. Dominic is out there, they're carrying him to the back, and that was it. And that was it. The eye for an eye match. Wielded, no eyeball, no cinematic, no CGI. I mean, you got fucking movie buffs and movie critics laughing at WWE here for their lack of creativity. They could have hired somebody to make this thing look somewhat realistic, and WWE said, you know what? You're going to get a half of an eyeball, we're going to cover Mysterio's head, and that's the eye for an eye match. And then Rollins puking, which I'm sure was a Vince McMahon idea. Yo, listen, Rollins, you got to go and puke in the corner. Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible.
It's just a modern-day version of bait and switch. The promoter is going to bait you in with a ridiculous stipulation and type match, and then once you get your money for the show, they'll just do something to get out of it. And this was it.
Yes, I know this is typical WWE bait and switch, but Jesus Christ. I mean, the match was fine. The match was fine. The lack of pinfalls in a match like this really kind of take you out of it because you got some big spots, you got some big moves that in a normal match setting would be, generating excitement for near falls and oh my God, he almost won, oh my God, he almost lost and this and that. This was just fucking lazy. And I knew from the get-go this was the wrong stipulation for this shit. First of all, it sounds ridiculous. Number two, I don't know why Dominic wasn't the focus of this thing, where they just could have simply booked him to fight for Mysterio, fight for his father against Rollins, and then Rollins says, listen, Ray and me are having a fight, but I want Dominic on the line. And then Dominic, obviously, is the prize at the end of it. Rollins would beat Mysterio. Dominic is in the messiahhood of Seth Rollins, and he's got to do whatever Rollins says. Pretty much his servant. And then we get Mysterio again fighting for Dominic's freedom at SummerSlam, and then the story ends on a good note.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking the stipulation completely took away from what these guys did and could do in a match. We're sitting here so focused on this eye removal thing. We're not sitting here dissecting the fact that we just had Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. Period. Just make it a wrestling match, and there would be no talk of this eye thing being ridiculous and stupid. And we'd just be talking about how great the match was.
Yeah, the match was fine.
You know?
I had no problem with the match. The match fit into the whole overall, shtick of Extreme Rules. But, like you said, yeah, we were waiting for that 5-10 seconds of the eyeball removal, and that's all we gave a shit about. And when we got it, it's going to be the basis of everybody's opinion. That was so bad that it's going to ruin the rest of the match that these guys worked their ass off in.
Yep. It's a shame, dude. It's a damn shame because we know how they can work. We've seen them work before. I mean, they could have did it again here, but I mean, it's just when you put a stipulation in like that, something that nobody's ever seen before, that becomes the primary focus. So the match could have been with anybody. It didn't even matter who it was anymore. We just waiting for the eyeball to come out. That's all anybody wants to see. And then it came out, and it was silly. So now they're gonna shit on the match, and it was actually a good match. So the stipulation hurt these guys in this instance.
Does Mysterio stay with the WWE after this, or was this his final send-off in WWE?
I don't know. I think it's all about Dominic. We don't know what kind of deal Dominic has going on. We just assume that he's signed in there. All we know that he was in a developmental deal. I mean, which could mean about anything. I mean, Mysterio is so smart enough to give himself an out clause in this deal and not resign, but he's not smart enough to set his kid up with a similar deal. I think they can both probably walk out when they want. I could be mistaken in that, but that's just what I'm thinking.
I don't know, man. I hope he leaves. I talked about this earlier. Vince McMahon has put a lot of trust in Rey Mysterio, and I think Vince McMahon kind of knows that Rey isn't going anywhere just for the sake of Dominic, and I think WWE knows that. They're using Dominic as leverage. So I don't know what's going to happen with Rey Mysterio. I really think he deserves a lot better. You know, it's something that came at the end of his run here for this 3 years he was back. It was a story of too little too late. They did virtually nothing with him when he came back. He was ordinary as ordinary can be. He fit right into that just ordinary feeling of SmackDown on USA Network when they were on USA. And he never played a factor into anything. And then all of a sudden, you got him against Brock Lesnar, which was fantastic for what it was. And then you got him and Cain Velasquez. You got Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar, which was one of the biggest fucking failures that this company has ever given us, was Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar at that Saudi show. Rey Mysterio was involved with that, and then all of a sudden Rey and Seth Rollins feuded for 6-7 months, and that was it. There's nothing to this guy's return to the WWE that stands out, and I know if he signs for another 5 years, it's just going to be about the money. And I don't know if Rey Mysterio is all about the money. Yes, Dominic's going to play a factor, but I do think Rey wants to go out on his own terms, and he wants to end his illustrious career doing something that means a lot to him. And if WWE isn't going to give him a tag team match like he wants with Dominic, he may have to go find that somewhere else. And he may have to leave Dominic in WWE's hands, and you know they can get petty, and they will get petty with Dominic. If Rey goes to AEW and shows up for the TNT Championship against Cody, Dominic is fucked. He's fucked. His career's done.
There's nothing, money, his legacy, what he's doing right now, nothing is more important than Rey right now than what happens with his son and his wrestling future. Nothing. I'm sure Rey will give up everything he's worked for in his entire career. Give it up so Rey can have a solid future in wrestling. And not only that, I'm sure Rey wants to be behind it. I'm sure he doesn't want to retire, go home and watch his son on TV. He probably wants a job with his son, working with his son in some capacity.
Do we get this continued? Instead of getting the generic and the formulaic Rollins and Owens match that we speculated before, because I could see them absolutely doing that. What if we get a 6-man tag? What if we get Rollins? I don't know where Theory is. I have no idea where Austin Theory is. I don't know. They haven't mentioned him at all. But what if we get, if he comes back to TV, what if we get Rollins, Murphy, and Theory versus Owens, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic in a six-man tag, and that's Dominic's debut at SummerSlam. We get a six-man tag, and then the good guys get one over on the heels, and they get their happy ending.
It could be. I mean, but I think the one thing that we're all waiting for, that has to happen at some level, at some point, is Dominic to turn on his father. I mean, Wrestling 101 has taught us that at the end game is what? Dominic versus his father, right? I mean, am I off here?
I would assume so, yeah.
I mean, if I'm Rey Mysterio, if I can pick somebody to retire me, I mean, why wouldn't it be my son?
Yeah.
So I think the ultimate end game here should be how they get there. I don't know. Take me for the ride and I'll pay attention to it. But it should be Dominic versus Rey Mysterio, career, versus mask or something like that. I mean, but I'm sure when Rey goes out, I'm pretty sure he wants to go out putting his son over and help making his son carry out his name in the next generation.
We'll see, man. I know that's all Rey Mysterio wants. He wants to team with his son. Maybe that happens at SummerSlam. I like that idea of Dominic turning on Rey. I really do. Maybe it happens at SummerSlam, and maybe, that's how the story continues. Maybe Dominic looks at his father as a failure, couldn't get the job done, and he's just succumbed to the manipulation of Seth Rollins and joins his ministry. They do. If Austin Theory, I don't know whether Austin Theory has COVID or if he got sent back down to NXT or if he got really tied up in that Me Too shit on social media. But Rollins may need somebody to replace Austin Theory if Theory's not coming back. Dominic seems like a suitable replacement if you ask me.
He can't. He could be. And if they can get this stretched out to WrestleMania, there's a WrestleMania headliner for you: Rey Mysterio versus his son.
Yeah, and I would absolutely be all for that. And that may be, like you said, a way to keep Rey Mysterio in the WWE, as I do think as well that is the most important thing to him as well, his son, and the career of his son right now in WWE. What was the most important thing to me on this show was Sasha Banks versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, you could talk about it, Jesse. This was one hell of a fucking match up until the last 5 minutes. Sasha Banks is so good. Asuka is so good. These two are head and shoulders above everybody else in the women's division. And I love what these two women did here. I do think that Sasha got rattled at the end. And I do think it's a situation of someone who loves what she does so much and wants to just create a moment and create such a great match, going too far when she doesn't really have to. And I do think she got rattled at the end, and we'll get there in just a second. This was an awesome match up until the last 5 minutes. Sasha was in control early and actually had a bank statement applied earlier here within the first 2 minutes with Asuka managing to escape. Sasha really slowed the match down, worked that heel pace, grounding Asuka until Asuka managed to get in a cross arm breaker, and Sasha got to the ropes to break that hold. Both women were in a standing position. Sasha throwing lefts and rights, went for a Spanish arm drag off the top rope. Ate a knee right to the face. Hip attack by Asuka sends Banks outside. Sasha then ate a sliding knee attack on the apron by Asuka. Back in the ring, Asuka went for the Asuka lock, and Banks sent Asuka headfirst into the second turnbuckle. Sasha then with the double knees, her signature double knees, and then a near fall for a 2 count. Sasha in control after a submission hold on Asuka's shoulders with what Samoa Joe called a butterfly lock. It looked fucking deadly. It looked very similar to what Deonna Purrazzo used on Jordynne Grace on Slammiversary when she won the Impact Women's Championship. Sasha then ate I'm going backwards here. The butterfly lock. And Sasha then started trash talking and getting cocky with Asuka. Asuka came back with a spinning back fist. Sasha up top, and Asuka caught her with a code breaker off the top rope. Asuka went for another hip attack. Sasha evaded, both on the apron now, fighting for position. Sasha slides through Asuka's legs, power bombs Asuka into the plexiglass on the outside. Really nice spot there. Back in the ring, Sasha up top, Guerrero frog splash, and Asuka kicks out at 2. Transitioned right into a bank statement in the middle of the ring. Asuka got to the rope, even though Sasha tried her signature kicking off of the bottom rope to get the hold applied in the middle of the ring. She did not have an opportunity to do that. More trash talking by Banks. Knee to the face. Asuka now muscled Sasha in the ring from the apron looking for a bridging German, but that was a huge botch. They both fell backwards. She went and still got the cover, managed to get the cover, did Asuka, got a 2 count, and then she went for that same spot again and delivered 2 German suplexes with 2 other pinfalls. Another German by Asuka, running hip attack, 2 count. Asuka off the top, misses a drop kick. Sasha with a quick, shining wizard, got a 2 count. Both women are on the top rope now. Sasha beats Asuka down with some elbows. She's up top, Asuka's back up. Went for a German. Sasha rolled through, and she flipped in midair, landing on her knees. Okay, this is very important. She hit a Meteora for a 2 count. Banks went back up top. They took their sweet time positioning themselves for what came next. She went for a high risk, and she slipped off the top rope, which was probably the scariest part of this entire pay-per-view. She slipped off the top rope. Everyone thought she was legit hurt. Bayley, at this point, tried to interfere. Sane pulled her off the apron. Asuka and Banks traded pin attempts back and forth, so at this point, it looked like she was okay. We don't know if she was hurt at this point or not. Asuka applied the Asuka lock. Bayley distracted the referee and tried to interfere. Bayley tossed a tag team title belt to Sasha, which she concealed away from the referee, while Asuka rocked Bayley with a kick to the head. Banks then tried to use the belt, but the referee saw her and stopped her. Kyrie on the outside was helping Asuka at this point get the green mist spot ready. Asuka then spit the mist at Banks. She ducked. She hit the referee. Asuka got the Asuka lock in on Banks, but Bayley came in with the referee misted, hit Asuka, did Bayley, in the back of the head with the title belt. Bayley then took the referee's shirt off his back, put the referee shirt on, and she made the 1-2-3 on Asuka. And Banks unofficially won the Raw Women's Championship. Now, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I don't know if Asuka is the loser here in this match. I don't know if Sasha is the new Raw Women's Champion. We'll find out more on Monday. Clearly, they thought of a cliffhanger going into Monday because Raw has not been taped yet. So everybody's going to be watching, is Sasha the champion? Is Asuka the champion? They think this is going to somehow generate ratings. And the fact of the matter is, they thought so hard about, we got to get the ratings up on Monday Night Raw, that they booked this fucking atrocious ending in this match. Now, the top rope spot where Sasha flipped over and landed on her feet is what caused her to lose traction in the later portions of this match, towards the finish. Her post-match emotions, it looked like she was emotional. I don't know if she was hurt. I don't know if she was upset with herself about how terrible the fucking ending was. But Jesse, this ending was so fucking bad that WWE, I even told you, I think they tried way too hard to book an ending, to make it as convoluted as they could be, to get the outcome that they wanted, yet all they had to do was give you a missed spot with the referee being blinded, Bayley coming in with the title belt, hitting Asuka, and that's it. Yet we got whatever the fuck we got here, Sasha potentially injured. Either she's injured or she's a great actress. I don't know. So what'd you think about this, and was this completely overdone?
Well, yeah, this is the definition of overbooked. You know, if anybody listening that doesn't exactly know what being overbooked means, this is what overbooked means. I mean, 75% of this match was perfect. I mean, I thought it was the best match of the year. I mean, it's Asuka and Sasha, and they had time to do what they wanted to do. But then it just seems like at one point they had to go to the go home sequence, and the wheels just fell off, man. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know who produced this ending. I don't know who wrote this shit out, but it was god awful. It had to be the worst, and it had to be the worst ending to the best match I've ever seen.
And I know for a fact that they simply did what they did tonight to generate an interest going into Monday Night Raw, and they potentially fucked up what was the most intriguing match on the entire show. Now, I get what they're trying to do. There was a multitude of ways you could have went about this. I guarantee you they had a list of endings for this match, and I guarantee you, this was the one that Sasha didn't want to go with. I'll bet my life fucking savings that this is the ending that she said, I don't want to do this. This is not right. Well, let's go and do another ending. And WWE decided on this ending. I hope my guy reaches out to me. I really do. I need to know what was going through the process of this fucking decision. There were so many other ways to get a much better ending here, and that's what they produced. Now, I know you want to get Sasha versus Asuka at SummerSlam. I know it. I'm not even bothered by the fact that she's not even a Raw superstar anymore. I don't even give a shit anymore. Nobody gives a fucking WWE. Why am I going to sit here and stress myself out and fucking call them out on their bullshit when they don't even give a shit about the bullshit that they do? But I know you want Asuka and Sasha at SummerSlam, and I hope that this does not derail the storyline. I don't. Where does Kairi Sane fit into this? Does she get involved? What's going on here? Are we going to get Sasha as a Raw Women's Champion, and are we going to get her officially as the Raw Women's Champion? Is Asuka going to now sit here and vie for her championship that she really never lost? I don't know. It's just so convoluted. Everybody was claiming on Twitter that this was Vince Russo, WCW-like. People were blaming Bruce. We got Bruce Pritchard fucking booking some god-awful shit. I don't know, man. I'm really speechless. I really, really am. I don't know what else to say.
It looks like this is what they're gonna do. Kairi Sane lost tonight. Kairi Sane. Bayley won tonight. Asuka lost tonight. I think they're gonna put the tag titles on Asuka and Sane and start the rift that way. So,
I could see that.
It looks like that's what they're gonna do. Maybe they told Sane that they would put titles on her and to help entice her to stay. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming that bullshit. But yeah, they could have enticed her with some gold. Put the tag team titles on them, give them a run. To be honest with you, that wouldn't be the worst thing on the planet to put the tag titles on these two women, and then let Sasha and Bayley enhance the division that way, because Asuka and Kairi can easily enhance the division on their end in the other direction. So maybe
I honestly think there was so much going on in the ending of this match that it fucking threw Sasha Banks off. I really do.
She had an off night, man. I saw I texted you about the Black Widow. It looked like they were trying to transition into a Black Widow, and it just slipped. I don't know if it was Asuka's slip or Bayley's, but then it was another slight slip, and then it was a big botch on the rope. It looked like I said, Sasha, like she was just having an off night, like she just wasn't there. She wasn't all there tonight.
Yeah, whatever it is, man, she was definitely emotional towards the end. I hope to God that she's not hurt, because that slipping off the top rope looked really brutal. She sold it incredibly well in the ring. She even pulled down her knee pad. She was screaming at the referee. She started screaming at Asuka. But the fact that she finished the match, I'm hoping that she's not hurt. It doesn't look like she is, but I hope she's not. But we'll find out sooner rather than later.
And let me say this. Like I just said, I thought the match was awesome for the first 75% of it or so. And Sasha had a really off night. And that being said, the match was great. So on Sasha's worst day, she puts on a better match than most of the women in WWE.
Oh, absolutely.
So
anyway, we got Sasha and Asuka continuing on going into Monday Night Raw. We will find out what happens then. We could be looking at another winner-take-all situation between Asuka, Sane, Bayley, and Banks. That could be a good selling point as well. I've seen that in the chat. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but listen, my wish is probably going to come true. I didn't want them to go with Banks and Bayley at SummerSlam. I would have gladly taken this storyline and kind of enhanced it over the next couple of months going through SummerSlam, and it looks like we're going to get that wish. So we'll see what happens, and I'm pretty sure that Sasha is upset about what had happened in that ending tonight, because it was convoluted as anything I've ever seen on WWE television this year. Extreme Rules match. Yes, it was an Extreme Rules match between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. The only situation here, folks, is that it was an Extreme Rules match for Dolph Ziggler only. Drew McIntyre had to wrestle a standard WWE match. He was not able to use the Extreme Rules stipulation. McIntyre can lose the title on a DQ or a countout, and he cannot use any Extreme Rules stipulation. Only Dolph Ziggler has the ability to do so. So this is the stipulation that they have hyped up for 2 weeks now. They went on Newsweek. They went on The Bump. USA Today. It's something that you're never going to see before, or something that you've never seen before. Nothing that we've ever done before. But it was something that was just so, I want to say ordinary. It wasn't even like, oh my God. That's the best you can come up with after all the fucking days that you had to contemplate a stipulation. This is the best that you got. Jesse, the only thing that I could possibly think of when I heard this stipulation, and we all knew the outcome of this match. We all knew Dolph Ziggler wasn't going to win the WWE Championship. As soon as he gave you that stipulation tonight, the only thing I thought of was, holy shit, WWE's motto every single year is, how do we make Dolph Ziggler look like a bigger loser than the year prior? This made him look like the biggest fucking loser in all of WWE. How you have an Extreme Rules stipulation and your opponent can't do anything Extreme Rules and you still end up losing the match and failing to capture the WWE Championship. If that doesn't spell loser, I don't know what does.
Man, I waited all night for this match. Whew, boy. Man. So, how do you lose a match where you literally get carte blanche to make any rule you want and any stipulation you want, and apparently they just gave it to him, and he lost the match? Now, character-wise, gimmick-wise, how do you come back from that?
You can't.
If that is the absolute biggest burial in wrestling history of all time. How do you come back from that? How are you going to tell me next month that Dolph Ziggler could possibly beat anybody in a fair match? He couldn't beat somebody when he had every rule in the book in his favor. He hit this dude with anything he could think of, and at the end of it, Drew hopped up, no-sold the entire match, and just Claymored him and won. It was funny on so many levels, but it was just the biggest burial in the history of pro wrestling, dude.
Dolph Ziggler is one of the best wrestlers that they have in that entire company. And I swear to God, somebody in that company hates Dolph Ziggler so much that it's like a game to them now. How can we make this guy look like a complete fucking bum? A complete loser. I don't know how you can come back from what happened tonight. He should never, ever, ever, as long as I am alive, as long as he is an active performer, get another WWE Championship match. First of all, he should have never even gotten a title shot to begin with. He wasn't even a fucking Raw superstar up until about 4 weeks ago. Never wrestled one match. Brian Alvarez on Twitter mentioned that Dolph Ziggler had one match all year, singles match all year, and he's lost every one of them, except for one against Tucker Knight on SmackDown. I guess that means he's a worthy contender for the WWE Championship in the eyes of Bruce Pritchard. This match should have never taken place. I don't give a shit how good the match was. I see these blue checkmark fucking shills. Oh my God, this is great. Great. I don't give a fuck if it's a 5-star classic that's going to go down in the history of WWE. It will be forgotten tomorrow morning when you all wake up. As soon as we end this live stream, no one is going to be talking about Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Bring on Randy Orton is the only thing we're going to be talking about. Give me a fucking break. Nobody mentions the fact that Dolph Ziggler shouldn't even fucking be, it's a great match. Why is it on the show?
No, that was bad. That was really, really bad for Dolph's career, man. That was terrible.
I hate these people, how they just can't make common sense out of the simplest fucking things. Dolph Ziggler should fucking retire after this.
That really, really should be his retirement match. That should be it. He should come out on Raw and just say, hey, you know what? If I couldn't win this match, I'm done. Goodbye.
You moved him to Monday Night Raw with Bobby Roode. Where the fuck's Bobby Roode, number one? You moved him from SmackDown that has no tag teams to put him in a singles match against Drew McIntyre. Bobby Roode hasn't come back from fucking wherever the fuck he is. And you take him out of a tag team, which you desperately need right now to do this.
It was bad, man.
I don't know, man. I don't even want to go over the fucking notes of this shit. What happened in this match that anybody gives a shit about? Do you remember anything from this match?
I remember Dolph having the easiest stipulations on the planet and still losing. That's it.
Ziggler used a low blow, couldn't get it done. Ziggler attacked McIntyre with several chair shots to the back, couldn't get it done. Ziggler hit McIntyre in the back, throat first with the chair, couldn't get it done. Ziggler then rocked McIntyre with a chair shot to the shoulder. Chair shots all over the body. This guy was dissecting McIntyre with chair shots, couldn't get it done. Ziggler jumped at McIntyre off the apron at ringside, but he caught Ziggler and gave him belly to belly over the announce table. Ziggler recovered, gave McIntyre a famouser off the announce table. Now Ziggler locked in a sleeper hold. McIntyre made it to the ropes. He couldn't break the hold because of the rules, which was very confusing to me. It looked ridiculous for Drew McIntyre to, contemplate using a chair, but he's like, oh, I can't use it. Or I can't suplex this guy into a table. I got to suplex him over here. I can't suplex him through the table. It looked fucking ridiculous. McIntyre fought back, sent Ziggler into the barricade outside of ringside. McIntyre went for a Claymore, but Ziggler used the chair and a zigzag for a near fall. Ziggler then gave McIntyre a flying elbow drop through a table on the outside that he set up earlier in the match. Looked devastating. Ziggler almost won the match by count out, but McIntyre made it in at a 9. And remember, if McIntyre got counted out, he would lose the WWE title. McIntyre fired back with a Glasgow kiss. Ziggler fought back with a famouser, a zigzag, and then a rock bottom on a chair. Couldn't get the fucking match won. Okay? You're using the finisher of one of the greatest of all time, and he kicked out. Again. Loser on top of loser. And I think he did that because The Rock put him over on Instagram earlier in the week. Ziggler became frustrated. He then tuned up the band for the Sweet Chin music. Ziggler set up for Sweet Chin music, but McIntyre did a kip up and hit a Claymore out of nowhere, and that was it. Loser.
Let me ask you this. Here's something nobody's talking about. If Drew McIntyre can win through these odds, how in the hell are you going to beat him to get that title off of him?
Bro, listen, I know I mentioned it to you, and, obviously, he didn't have these stipulations going up against Brock Lesnar. But Drew listen, it doesn't matter what fucking weapons you could use. Brock Lesnar himself is a fucking weapon. McIntyre beat Lesnar in 5 minutes. And he had to sell for Dolph Ziggler for 20 fucking minutes with chair shots and kendo sticks and tables. This guy beat fucking Brock Lesnar in 5 fucking minutes. And he couldn't get the job done here with Dolph Ziggler. I gotta watch Dolph Ziggler fucking beating Drew McIntyre for 20 minutes. Chair or not, I don't give a shit. I would take Brock Lesnar over fucking 1,000 steel chairs.
I defended them and said, hey, you know what? He didn't know what the stipulation was. He didn't know what he had to go up against. And then when he found out, he had all of these different stipulations against him but not against his opponent. It's something new. I could see them dragging the match out longer than a match with Brock. But come on, man. Come on. How?
Can we honestly talk about how depressing Drew McIntyre's title reign has been?
Oh my God. Dude.
He's beaten Brock Lesnar fine. That should have been the creme de la creme here. Cherry on top of the cake. He beat Big Show at WrestleMania, by the way, clowns. It was at WrestleMania. Because I remember seeing a WrestleMania ring logo on the fucking ring skirt. So it was at WrestleMania. Went to Seth Rollins. They fucked that up. They gave that away fucking 16 times before that match happened. And when it happened, it wasn't really all that important. It shouldn't have even been Rollins. It should have been Kevin Owens. But Kevin Owens wanted to be home. Or he was hurt at that time. Then he goes from Seth Rollins, who is it? Bobby Lashley. Decent match. But you're not going to make me believe in Bobby Lashley after you buried him for 3 years. You're going to build him up for 3 weeks. Oh my God, Lashley's a top contender. Doesn't work that way. Then he goes on from Lashley to Dolph Ziggler. And Mike, I just ranted about how this didn't make any fucking sense. Now we're going to go from Dolph Ziggler to Randy Orton. What does Drew McIntyre have that he can actually hang his hat on during this reign? Nothing. They failed to book a babyface champion again. Now you're going to give it to the hottest guy in the company, and rightfully so, and McIntyre's reign is going to be long gone. And what you did with Brock Lesnar put over another guy that failed to get over.
Yeah, it's extremely unfair to Drew because he's been there, he's been willing, he's done everything asked of him, and he's Drew McIntyre has nailed everything that they made him go out there and do. He's nailed every promo.
Oh, this is no way his fault.
No. Nailed every segment. He's nailed everything that they've asked him to do. It's just they have him out there doing the dumbest shit. People
in the chat saying Adam Cole. Yes, Adam Cole. Yes, Adam Cole. And for the people putting down Adam Cole, you could go fucking suck a big one. Adam Cole is a legit WrestleMania main event superstar. He is the future of this company. And if WWE is bright in the creative aspect of what they do here, Adam Cole is going to be a WWE champion on this brand, whether it's against McIntyre or whoever the fucking champion's going to be. It's going to be Randy Orton. He's going to defend the title against Edge. Edge might have a token title run. Give it to fucking Adam Cole to be the antagonist against Edge. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be able to re-sign Adam Cole whenever his contract ends. I don't know if they're gonna be able to re-sign him, man.
I don't know, man. We honestly don't know what the story is with Adam Cole. If he's signed for another extension, did he sign last year? Is he a free agent? WWE's got some big. If Adam Cole is a free agent, WWE's got some big fucking names as free agents right now. Adam Cole is a free agent. Daniel Bryan is a free agent at the end of the summer. Rey Mysterio is a free man right now. They got some big fucking names that they need to start throwing money at.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan's not going anywhere, but they have to pay him whatever he wants. So that's just that. If they lose Adam Cole, man, they're losing the future of their company.
I don't know.
And
this was. Listen, I know a good wrestling match when I see one. This was, again, paint by numbers. I use that term, paint. This was ordinary fucking B-level pay-per-view garbage that you're never going to watch again. You will forget about whatever happened here by the time you wake up in the morning. By the time this podcast is over, you will forget about what happened with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. So, if that's the basis of Drew McIntyre's title run, WWE, you got to fix it. He doesn't deserve this shit. Now, granted, we don't know what they're doing. They may be planning a big celebration when things get back to normal, hopefully, and they want him to maybe win the championship with fucking fans, being that he didn't get his big one WWE title run at WrestleMania with fans. He had to do it in an empty arena. I don't know. But you ain't doing this guy any favors.
No. None.
WWE didn't do any favors by what they ended this show with. I don't know what you guys thought about the swamp fight. I know everybody's we got almost 2,500 people in here deep watching this. I know This is what you wanted us to talk about, the fucking swamp fight between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. I have been hard on Braun Strowman, and rightfully so. I think Jesse agrees with me. This guy has done absolutely nothing with the Universal Championship. He has not made that championship look good at all. In fact, it looks the worst it's ever been. And the Universal title is not making Braun Strowman look any good because the title was dead before he was even put on Braun Strowman. So it doesn't matter. He looked into a championship match. He beat Goldberg. Goldberg shouldn't even have been the fucking champion. Bray Wyatt should already be the fucking champion going into this match. He should have been the champion for most of the year. I don't give a shit who you had there or who's out, who has COVID, who doesn't have COVID, where you perform in WrestleMania in front of empty people. I don't give a shit. Bray Wyatt should have been the Universal Champion. Now here we are. WWE selling this fact off of their history. This match off their history. I label this as a B-side of an album that nobody gives a fuck. It wasn't shipped with the original album. That's what this is. Braun Strowman had a cup of tea in the Wyatt family. When you think of the Wyatt family, you think of Bray Wyatt. You think of Sister Abigail. She didn't even have a fucking an individual play her character. She was more over than Braun Strowman in the Wyatt family. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Nobody thinks of Braun Strowman. Yet WWE is selling me on the fact of their story because he was in the Wyatt family. He was associated with the Wyatt family. I'm not buying it. I'm not interested in that. Now, I was interested in this match, Jesse, because, and tell me what you think about this, for the simple aspect of, I'd much rather see them in this environment than in an actual wrestling match.
I'm glad you brought that up. I thought what they did, here's something I want to say that's going to rock the chat, man. For all that we talk about them and for all that you demolish them whenever you can, I'll say this much. Kevin Dunn is the absolute best at what he does in his field. And for those who don't know, Kevin Dunn is the executive director of television production for WWE. Meaning him and his team made that match look like a goddamn a theatrical release movie. It looked great. It looked fantastic. It looked like you could take that and make it like a half-hour sitcom or a 45-minute movie. I thought it was phenomenal. But my God, what has this got to do with pro wrestling, man?
It has nothing to do with pro wrestling. It's WWE going to the well once too often. We're in the pandemic era of WWE where they're driving more people away from the actual product than actually getting people interested in the product. This is their bread and butter now. Cinematic matches. And they think that, oh, The Undertaker and AJ Styles went over so well. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa went over so well. Let's continue doing them. Then they do the Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole. That disappointed. Then they do this. This disappointed. What are we going to see next? What are we going to see next? I will agree with you. This looked fucking fantastic. And the reason why it looked fantastic was because, A, Vince McMahon wasn't involved with it. Triple H's team in NXT was involved with it. And Jeremy Borash was a part of it. He led the whole team. So that's why it looked as good as it did. So I'm not surprised by that whatsoever.
My God, dude, it was shot so well. I was so impressed by. I mean, WWE studio films, they don't put out movies with this kind of quality, man. This was great stuff.
This was really good. The atmosphere was right. They got the sound effects right. The only thing, and you guys have to watch it to understand what we're talking about, okay? But the Bray Wyatt isms in this match, the in and out of the Fiend and the in and out of the fucking sound effects. And there was one part of this match where Bray Wyatt was beating Braun Strowman down with a wooden stick on the dock towards the end of this thing, and they kept going in and out with the Wyatt family images. I'm like, show me the guy beating up his opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, what is with the theatrics? I get it. It's a fucking supernatural character. But you're going way overboard, and you're taking every aspect of a swamp fight out of the swamp fight.
Like they were sitting down having a therapy session at one point. What the fuck?
Which I took. I didn't take extensive notes, but I took notes on it. Literally, that's what it was. It was a fucking therapy session.
Oh my God, man.
Anyway, the match itself was just visually beautiful. But my God, was this an absolute waste of everybody's time. You could have just went from point A to point C. We didn't need point B. Because WWE had Mr. Rogers Bray loose. Then they want to give you the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt, old school Bray Wyatt, in the swamp, losing, to get to the Fiend. And all we needed to do was get to the Fiend, because that's all anybody gives a shit about. It's an inevitability that Braun Strowman is losing the championship, so why don't you just give us what we want? And that's Bray Wyatt as Universal Champion. Bray Wyatt, waiting in his rocking chair in what looks to be the driveway to the scene of the swamp fight. Braun Strowman pulls up in his pickup truck. This was a lot less cooler, by the way, than The Undertaker driving his motorcycle into the Boneyard match, blasting Metallica upon entry, and even AJ Styles arriving in the graveyard in a fucking casket. Braun Strowman, ride my pickup truck, you know. Going on a farming expedition as Braun Strowman. I'm surprised he didn't fucking run there. He runs fast, by the way.
What happened to that Grand National yet?
I don't know. Miz and Morrison probably had it impounded.
Oh, God.
Braun uttered, as he exited the vehicle, "I'm home." Bray laughed, and then all of a sudden, he was no longer in the rocking chair. He disappeared. So Braun Strowman looks at a sign upon entry that said, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." Now, this was from Dante's Inferno, by the way. Did some research on that, because I know I've seen that saying from somewhere. And it just clicked the bell off of my head. I'm like, I know I've seen that before, so I had to look it up. I thought
that was the sign that Vince put over the locker room for the talent.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that too. That's probably where they got it originally, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. WWE. Simple. You want your career ended? Come join us, please. That was on a sign staring at Strowman, and he threw the rocking chair that Bray Wyatt was sitting in at the sign. All of a sudden, we see these masked men attack Strowman, who came out of the trees, apparently. All of a sudden, Braun got knocked out. Not by the guys that came out of the trees. More ninjas, by the way. That's what they look like to me. But he got knocked down by himself. Braun Strowman knocked out Braun Strowman. He was staring up at himself with his back, laying in the grass, he looked up at a vision of himself wearing a black sheep mask, and this Braun Strowman knocked Braun Strowman out. Yes, I know it sounds fucking ridiculous, because it's exactly as how it is coming off in my notes. That's how ridiculous it is. So all of a sudden, we see Braun Strowman tied up in chains in Bray Wyatt's rocking chair in what looked to be a serial killer's wet dream. This looked to be a fucking slaughterhouse of sorts where crimes would be committed and body limbs would be hanging from the ceiling. Visions of dolls and children's laughter cutting in and out. Bray's walking towards him with his lantern and the old school Wyatt theme playing in the background. Bray then says, "Welcome home. Do you like what I did with the place?" Braun then said, "I hate you." Bray then said, "You can't hurt me. I'm already dead." I laughed at this because I just found that to be so fucking coincidental. He's like, "You can't hurt me. I'm already dead," just like his fucking career. So I found that to be very funny. When your 5 minutes is up, what then? Who will be there for you now? Bray yelled at Braun, "I am not your enemy. You are like me. Together we will be gods, and they will all bow to us." And this was pretty much the extent of the dialogue that I had written down because, like Jesse said, this was a full-blown fucking therapy session. At least 6 or 7 minutes of fucking dialogue here in this swamp fight. So then after some long drawn-out dialogue, Bray asks Braun if he wants to see something scary. So a woman dressed in black with a black veil over her face comes walking towards Braun Strowman with a snake, and the snake bit Strowman. We then transfer to another scene in the swamp fight. We go to Braun Strowman fighting more goons that came out from the trees. He's fighting everyone in the swamp fight but Bray Wyatt at this point. One of the guys was lit on fire after Strowman threw him into the pit of fire that was there in this scene. Strowman then heard a woman in the distance dressed in black. It was the same woman with the snake in the last scene, and it was Alexa Bliss. So Alexa Bliss was, I believe this was, correct me if I'm wrong, she was playing the role of Sister Abigail here.
Oh, yeah. It was Alexa. It was your worst nightmare.
So Alexa Bliss was playing the role of Sister Abigail here. She said in a very seductive voice, "Follow me home, Braun. You know you wanted us to be together. We can live together forever." And then as he got closer, she kind of disappeared into some white smoke. And as he got closer, the white smoke was there, but out of the white smoke came Bray Wyatt with the mandible claw. Finally, we got the swamp fight. Strowman slammed Wyatt into a rowboat after a little fight scene, and then the rowboat started drifting away out into the pond. So Strowman, or the lake, or wherever the fuck they were. Strowman then sees the boat in the distance, turn around, and then come right back towards him. So he looked very concerned at this point. Braun is walking in the water towards the boat, and no one was in the boat. And all of a sudden, Wyatt came from the water with a paddle, and he's trying to drown Strowman in the water. Strowman emerged from the water, gasping for breath. He was choking and coughing. He then looks up and hears children laughing. Bray Wyatt is standing above him. Wyatt viciously beating Strowman with a piece of wood over and over and over again. We got the images of the Wyatt family going in and out. Nothing is very solid and fluid as far as a fight here. We just got all these theatrics going on. So Strowman stands up after being beaten down. Bray starts laughing. Strowman kicked him off the dock, back into the water. Bray then looked into the water and uttered, "It is over. It is over." We got the Tommaso Ciampa Extreme Rules WWE logo on the bottom right of the screen, the trademark logo there. I thought it was over. And then all of a sudden, Wyatt came from the water and dragged Strowman into the water. And Wyatt didn't emerge from the swamp. Strowman assumed he won. The logo popped up, like I said. Suddenly, Wyatt came out of the water. Like I said on the podcast earlier, like Michael Myers from Friday the 13th, he locked in the mandible claw. He dragged Strowman into the swamp. The water then turned red. We seen bubbles emerge from the water. Suddenly, the Fiend jumped out of the swamp, laughed maniacally, and the show faded to black. And that was your swamp fight. This was an absolute waste of everybody's fucking time. I was more disappointed with the lack of action in this match than anything I've seen before all year. This was absolutely a waste of everybody's fucking time.
Who won the match?
Nobody. You know who won the match? We did when the fucking show ended.
Oh, my God. Dude.
That's what happened. That's who won the fucking match. Now we got Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, versus Braun Strowman. Like we all knew we were going to get at SummerSlam because they have no fucking people on SmackDown to feud with Braun Strowman. Bray Wyatt's the only one. And then when you give the title to Bray Wyatt, who is there going to be for Bray Wyatt to go one-on-one with? The only one I could think of is Jeff Hardy. And then at that point, what are we going to get? Jeff Hardy entering the funhouse, and we got to deal with his fucking alcohol problems again. And his fucking demons are going to be brought to light again, just like they were with Sheamus. Guarantee you. This shit sucks.
You got to cover this stuff every week?
Yeah. Yeah, I got to cover this shit every week.
My God, dude. That's terrible. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt, listen, I read that this match was filmed. WrestleVote said this match was filmed for 6 or 7 hours, and that's the extent of what we got. That is the extent of their creativity. It's like they wanted to do something for the sake of doing it because they had to do something, and that was what they did. They being that it was filmed on Thursday, they had very little time to edit this for Sunday, so I'm assuming that's why it was kept so short. Meanwhile, the Boneyard match was filmed 2 weeks ahead of time, and they had all that time to edit it and make it really great. And it was one of the best things that they produced all year. This? No. The aesthetics and the theatrics and the visuals were fine. But the actual substance, I mean, I stood up off my couch and I said to myself, is this it? This is what I have to come on fucking YouTube Live and talk about. Nothing.
Yeah, it was a really, really bad ending. When you get the people's interest the way they did, and the thing is, everything that Wyatt does is gonna draw some interest. Me personally, I've lost all interest in Wyatt since they botched the Seth Rollins match with him at Hell in a Cell last year. But nonetheless, you get the attention of people that want to come see what happens with Wyatt and the Fiend, and they show up to watch and see what happens with him, and this is what you give them. This is how you kill character. This is how you kill interest in characters.
All right, so what do we get at SummerSlam? We get a one-on-one match? We get a normal one-on-one match with The Fiend and Braun Strowman?
We're going to get The Fiend. We're going to get Strowman. And then, yeah, Wyatt's going to win. And how they do it, who knows? I mean, but it won't be anything. It won't be climactic enough to justify what we've been seeing for the last couple of matches with these two.
I don't know, man. What a disappointing fucking night, man. Extreme Rules may listen. I thought the pay-per-view started off good, and then it just fell off a cliff. And that ending and the endings to a lot of these matches where we didn't have a conclusion, where they just kind of lazily walked into a possible cliffhanger just to sell Monday Night Raw or SmackDown on Friday because they know their ratings are in the fucking toilet. You know, they know they're in trouble. I even seen on Twitter, a lot of people were frustrated at the end of this thing that WWE's putting out some of the worst garbage that they've ever seen. And these people usually talk good about WWE. And I'm talking about Raj from Wrestling Inc. I seen his tweet that stood out to me, and I just said, you know what? I'm glad someone like that speaking up. He's a head guy over at Wrestling Inc., and he said they're putting out some of the worst shit that they've ever done right now. I'm losing interest in this shit, and they're driving people away week by week more so than they have people interested in it. Something needs to be done. He even said on Twitter, they need a complete company-wide overhaul for the on-television product.
I didn't know that existed, and you can vouch for the text I've been sending you. I've just started drifting away from the main roster product, and it's in turn starting to give me a drift away from NXT.
Well, yeah, because NXT doesn't feel the same, and you know that. You've watched NXT with me for how long?
Years.
You know,
years.
I've covered NXT. Going back to the fucking 1 hour days on Off the Script, every single week I look forward to it. I have a feeling in my gut every time Wednesday happens. I'm like, I'll watch Dynamite because I enjoy Dynamite, but I got to watch NXT. It feels like a goddamn chore to watch NXT now.
Yep. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm an AEW fan, and I'm really, really, really hoping this company succeeds because I'm a WWE fan. I'm a wrestling fan, but WWE is falling off the cliff. It does not seem like that they're just trying to come back from it or trying to save it. They're just trying to make it worse. I'm hoping AEW just continues to do what they do. They don't have to excel. They don't have to be perfect. Just put on logical wrestling shows. That's all we want, man. We don't want anything special. We don't want anything significant. We don't want anything spectacular. Just put on some decent wrestling shows. And that's what Cody and the rest of the Elite are doing. So I'm on board.
All right, guys, that is the end of the pay-per-view portion of the stream. And I want to thank everybody for joining us, because I know there's going to be some people departing us. We got a bunch of super chats we're going to go over. I save it for the end of the show because I don't like to kind of dip in and out like other people do and talk about the podcast and the stream and the review and then go into super chats and then back and forth. I like to just save it at the end. So if you guys came here for the review and you don't want to sit for the super chats, I appreciate you. But we're going to read some super chats right now, and then Jesse and I are going to get out of here because I got sleep to catch up on, and I got Monday Night Raw to get ready for tomorrow. So I want a nice afternoon of no wrestling and then 3 hours of the shit known as Monday Night Raw. But thank you guys for joining us. We're going to go through some super chats right now. We got Papo Jr. with a $5 super chat. Enjoying a nice peanut butter and dark chocolate coffee, milk stout, Gunner's daughter. Good evening to all and the demo god of the IWC. Cheers to all. Papo, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Gregory Benson, $9.99. Great Sasha Asuka match, but Jesus Christ, that ending. And yet they can't figure out no one watches anymore. And yes, Sasha is still a SmackDown superstar, people. Yes, Gregory, we here on the show thought it was a great match, but the ending was absolutely terrible. So thank you for the $10 super chat. $5 super chat from WC4. Darker in your new office is better. First show, too bright. Gave me a headache. Well, it's nighttime out, so I got my lamp on. And I told you guys the story already on the podcast. I don't have any overhead lights, so I got a corner room lamp. So hopefully it's properly lit for you guys. During the day, I don't know what to do because it's so fucking bright in here. So we'll figure it out. But WC, thank you for the $5 super chat. JP5150, bro, listen, thank you for the $5, by the way, number one. Number two, you gave me a beer recommendation of Divine Symmetry. Who is that by? Because I looked it up, and there's two Divine Symmetries, one from South Carolina, and there's one from Three's Brewing in New Jersey. So let me know what it is, because I'm very interested in trying it. The one in Three's Brewing sounds absolutely fucking fantastic. You gotta let me know what brewery it's from. But he says, JD, the only horror show that I actually enjoyed is the 2001 album by Iced Earth. Yes, my favorite song off that is Ghosts of Freedom. So yes, thank you, man. The song Dragon's Child got me hooked. The horror show was awful. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it tonight. It was not my cup of coffee for sure. James0210, $5 super chat. JD, you got me hooked to Iced Earth. Here's another Iced Earth viewer, listener. Yeah, man, you gotta catch up on your heavy metal, man. If you ain't listening to Iced Earth, you're not a metalhead. Gregory Benson, $4.99. Do you agree, JD, that the piece of paper that my Walmart receipt is printed on can write a better show than Vince and Bruce? I don't know, man. I don't like going to Walmart nowadays, but I'll take the Walmart receipt over whatever is on the sheet of paper that Bruce and Vince have in front of them, for sure. Faith Fitness, $5 super chat, says nothing. Thank you for the super chat. Daniel Easter Day, $5. I hope you had a good weekend. Jesse and JD, glad Jesse is back. How do you guys think they're going to book Sasha and Bayley and Asuka after the finish? I'll let Jesse handle that one. How do you think they're going to book them, Jesse?
Oh, I think they're going to book them.
How are they going to book them?
That's a good question, man. I tell you what I think. I think that they're getting the wind that Sasha and Bayley are the best thing on TV. And I think they're going to ride it out for a little bit longer because WWE, if that's one thing we know about them, they like to run shit into the ground. So they got a good thing. They know they got a good thing. Why would they bring it to an end? They're going to run it into the ground. They're going to keep them together until we're tired of it, and then they'll break them up. So they might make it to Survivor Series still buddies, and then maybe they'll break them up then. As a matter of fact, Survivor Series is notorious for a big heel turn, so maybe that's where we'll get it.
We'll see. Hopefully they could get there. Knowing WWE Creative, I have no faith in them even getting there. At this point, I think they're tapped out. That's just my feeling, but we'll see. 49ers Chick, $6 super chat. Thank you. This pay-per-view was trash, but I'm looking forward to your review. Hopefully you enjoyed what Jesse and I delivered here tonight. Quintendo, $4.99. Some great matches, but the endings were total garbage. WWE has terrible creative. I love you, JD and Jesse. Please tear this show apart. And I hope that we tore it apart to your liking, Quintendo. Thank you, man. Team Forward, $2 super chat. Sasha vs. Asuka was good until the garbage ending. I think we can all agree there. Gaz with a £2 super chat. Horror show. More like comedy show. Bro, it wasn't. Listen, if it was a comedy show, it wasn't good comedy at all. Bradley Robinette, $2 super chat. Yankees suck. You hear that? Yankees suck. No words. I'm taking your silence as you agree.
I'm not going to get into that, man.
All right, moving on. Baseball starts up next weekend, folks. Next weekend. Braves and Mets. Braves and Mets.
Didn't the Yankees just play the Mets, or was that still in the...
No, that was, I think that was like summer training, whatever the fuck they call
training.
it. I think they got the Nationals on Fox next weekend.
All right, here we go.
Sean Musin, $2 super chat. This was the worst pay-per-view. Shame on WWE. Garbage. We got, thank you for the super chat, man. Dallas Cam 19. JD Slammiversary was better than this garbage. I would absolutely agree with you. I think Slammiversary was a very good pay-per-view. We got Dylan's Wrestling Stuff, $5 super chat. Now we got Rollins and Stone, Robert Stone, puking. What the fuck? Vince loves vomit and toilet humor. That's what that is. Definitely a Vince McMahon call.
Yeah.
Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. It's sad looking at what The Fiend was just a year ago compared to what he is now, completely dead. Well, Bray Wyatt did say, that he is dead. He mentioned it in his therapy session with Braun Strowman tonight, so he knows what's up. Brassman, $3.99. What up, JD and Jesse? Awesome. Britt Baker.
I hate these people.
There you go. We don't need to hear from a super chat how awesome Britt Baker is. We know.
We love Britt. You guys are going to get me blocked by Britt Baker, man.
We know. Britt Baker's not going to block you.
You guys are going to get me blocked. Watch. You guys are going to get me blocked by Britt Baker.
We got Prodigy RKO, $10 super chat. Britt Baker Fund. And the feud continues. Extreme Fools was an absolute joke. Question for JD and Jesse. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Thoughts on Slammiversary? Much love to you guys. Thank you, Prodigy. Yes, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. It's the only way to go. Lesnar, I don't think will be there, even though I don't believe the report that was this weekend that WWE won't book Lesnar because there's no fans. If WWE can generate ratings, Lesnar will be there. But yes, I think we both think that's going to be Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. It's the only thing that makes sense. Jesse, did you watch Slammiversary at all, and do you have any thoughts on it?
I didn't watch a single minute of it, to be honest. I tried to, I'm not trying to shit on the show. But I couldn't swing the money to spend that much money for a pay-per-view that I have no interest in prior to going into it. So, tried to, couldn't. I made plans for the night, and then I didn't get to watch it at all. But the reviews that I've heard, from the people that I trust, say that Impact delivered. So if they say so, then I believe it. I think they actually did deliver. Also, I think what might become an option for Brock for SummerSlam is I think they go ahead with their Drew versus Randy program, and I think they might have Brock show up. Maybe they have Brock show up just for a run-in at the end of it, just to plant the seed for Brock's next feud, whenever that should be. So maybe he comes in, maybe he beats the crap out of McIntyre to get his revenge after he won the match, and then they can set up whatever next showing they have. It don't have to be for the next pay-per-view. He can come in, smash Drew. Drew can talk crap for a couple of weeks on Raw, and then they move on to his next feud, and they've already planted the seeds for a Drew versus Brock at the Rumble or something like that, or Survivor Series rather. So who knows?
Who knows? I feel they should keep Lesnar off TV. I don't think he's really needed. It's pretty much just a Band-Aid on a shotgun wound. That's all it is. And they'll hype the ratings. Oh my, we got over a 2. Meanwhile, you lost half of your fucking audience already. And the only reason why people are watching is because it's after SummerSlam, and that's notoriously, a big interest show. And then what happens after that? When Lesnar's not on TV, right back to 1.6. It's really rinse and repeat with these people, but they don't get it. But Prodigy, thank you for the $10 super chat. Marty Bison, $4.99. What's up, brother? JD and Jesse back out again. JD, you and Solid Monster should do a SummerSlam live review. Normally Summer Scam, he says, not Summer. It's Summer Scam, people. Normally Solid Monster and I are competing 1 and 2 in the community for most viewers live stream during a pay-per-view. So I think him and I like the friendly competition. So I've had many a drink with him, and he's my commentary partner over at House of Glory. But we'll get together eventually. We'll get together eventually. I wish him nothing but the best, and I can't wait to hang out with him again. Brian Alex, $2 super chat. Impact Wrestling was better than Extreme Rules. Absolutely, in my opinion. Morrison Music, $5 super chat. Murphy has the potential to be WWE's Kenny Omega. I think so. But if Kenny Omega was in WWE, he wouldn't even be close to what Kenny Omega used to be. So it doesn't really make a difference who Buddy Murphy is emulating or he has the potential to be. The next Kenny Omega, doesn't matter. WWE looks down upon that type of thing. So he's right now in the role that they want him. Mediocre. Nick Brown, $2 super chat. Can you send T-shirts for my brother who has COVID? If I could use telepathy and get you a T-shirt, Nick Brown, I would, but I don't have an address. So you gotta hit me up on Twitter. Easy. $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. Hopefully your brother is doing well and on the road to recovery. Gaz with a £5 super chat. How difficult can it be to book a show with the talent contracted to WWE? The shakeup should be the creative team. Bruce out. Yes, Bruce is tired and stressed, and he's losing sleep. Clearly, he got no sleep before he wrote this fucking show tonight, because it was garbage. 199, Laura Conway, love you and your OTS. You are awesome. Thank you, Laura. Hopefully you and the husband are relaxing on this Sunday evening. Mr. J.K. Waters, $5 super chat. Wanted to send more, but had to buy Kleenex to wipe the tears away from my eyes, created from watching this horror show. Keep up the great work, JD. Don't worry, Mr. J.K. Waters. The funds are going all into the Jesse Meeting Britt Baker Fund. So don't worry about it. $5 will go a long way.
All right, I got to pause you for a sec. Hold on. If you go back to the super chat where the guy said that his brother had COVID and he wanted a T-shirt. Sorry to hear that. If he wants to send you his address, look, don't tweet your address in a public manner like that. He put his address in the chat, and I blocked it so that he didn't post it. Yeah, he did. He put his address in the live chat, and I blocked it so nobody would see it. All
right. Well, that's good. That's good on Jesse. So, well, thank you for doing that. And Nick, if you want to send me your address, just my business email is on my Twitter account. So just look at that and send me your address. It'll be right to my email. So that's the way you go about that.
There you go.
Justin, we got a $20 super chat. I was enjoying the Asuka and Sasha match up until that stupid, terrible finish at the end, in my opinion. Whoever booked that terrible finish should be shot dead for ruining a great match. Bruce approved it. Vince approved it. Somebody came up with it. We'll find out who produced that match, and then we'll go at the appropriate individual when the time is right. But yes, it was terrible. Gregory Benson, 199. Nicole Cringe, JD. Yes, C in cross is for cringe. CJ Voorhees, $10 super chat. My buddy asked if I was watching the pay-per-view, and I said, hell no. Watch JD's podcast and save yourself the pain of watching garbage. Love your channel, brother. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate that. CC Steven, hi, Jesse and JD. Question for both of you. Raw has lost almost 1 million viewers since the pandemic began. Do you think these fans will return, or do you think we are seeing the new normal? I'll let you handle that, man. What do you think?
Here's the problem with the ratings going down with the pandemic. People are at home. People are at home and seeing what's on TV and just actively deciding to not watch it. So it's not like less people are available. More people are available and less people are watching, which tells me that the product you're putting out is just really, 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 really bad. Will they return? I'm a firm believer in the same way JD is. You book good television and the ratings will return. You can't book a 5-star show on Monday and expect your ratings to show a reflection the following Monday. You have to book consistent good television over the course of months upon months and reoccurring good television. Word will catch. Social media spreads as fast as it is happening live on TV. People will know instantly that you're putting on a great show. They see that, but they're actually sitting there saying, let's see if they do it next week or after that. And then they'll start watching and sticking around. So they have to be patient. I think Paul Heyman had the right idea with building new stars and then waiting for the results to catch up. But Vince heard the term building new stars, saw low ratings, and started having knee-jerk reactions. It's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight success.
Listen, Monday Night Raw, this is my take on the question. Monday Night Raw has been so fucking terrible for 3 years, 4 years now. Every year, they've gotten progressively worse. every month that goes by, and they're continuing to generate the lowest ratings in the history of the company, every month that goes by, tack on that month onto the overall bill. You're looking at WWE with a long list of fucking things that is going wrong for them. It's one big-ass bill that WWE is racking up for itself. They went out and they're doing whatever the fuck they want. They're frivolously spending their money without a fucking care in the world. That's what WWE is doing. They went out to the club and they don't give a shit. They're just wasting the night away, doing whatever they want. Every month that goes by and the ratings are dwindling just hour by hour, they need to add another month on top of what they're doing, and it's going to be longer for them to generate the interest again in the overall product. In what could have been a fix in a year is now 3 years, 4 years for WWE to get that fan back. Like Jesse said, you need to start booking shows consistently. I guarantee fucking to you, if you book consistent, and I mean like old school NXT consistent every fucking week, I glued myself to the fucking television watching NXT. If they do that consistently for 6 months, I guarantee you the ratings will start going up. You turn that 6 months into a year, you're going to get a portion of that audience back. You do a year, and it goes to a year and a half, and you start booking consistently, you're going to generate interest in the product. I'm not saying every show is going to be good, because it's not, but most of the shows will be good. Some will be missed, but you're going to generate interest as long as you have consistency, and they don't have any of that.
Yes. Quite simply, if you flip the ratio that WWE has as far as good shows versus bad shows, they'll be fine. If you put on 10 WWE programming right now in a row, I swear to you, you'll be lucky if you get one good show. That should be flipped. There should be 9 great shows and 1 bad one.
You know, for everybody that's shit on Tony Khan, he's a geek. He looks like a fucking SJW. He looks like a fucking millennial, whatever the fuck you want to call Tony Khan. Tony Khan is new to the game. I would take Tony Khan over what he has done in 9 months on Dynamite than anybody collectively with all the years of knowledge that they have in WWE right now. I would take Tony Khan doing what he's doing on Dynamite over anybody running Monday Night Raw right now. He's doing it better than they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Tony Khan in WWE has done nothing but make WWE that more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is. If nothing else, you can turn it into WWE and see how they respond to the AEW situation. Because other than that, what else do you care about with WWE? They won't make new stars. They're scared of it. I don't want to. And look, I don't think it's that WWE can't make new stars. We all heard about the rumors and the reports that Vince does not want to make new stars because they get too big and become the Rocks and the John Cena's, and he loses them. So in his warped mind, his company is better off not making megastars like John Cena and The Rock.
I don't know. He should have been he should have had the next John Cena and The Rock already set in stone, but he even fucked up on that. He even fucked up on that. Could have been Roman Reigns, but he fucked up on that, and he took it for granted. He wanted what he wanted when he wanted it, and then he fucked that into the ground too.
Yep.
Young Bibby, 199. Who's the blonde on the wall? 4th pick, 1st row. That's Candice LeRae. When she was goody two-shoes Candice LeRae. One of my favorite pictures up there. Johnny Gargano's wife, by the way, who is now the Poison Pixie in NXT. Sounds like a main roster gimmick, but that's what you get with the new version of NXT. Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. Did you guys notice the eye that was taken out wasn't even the right one? Seth took out the eye that was already blinded. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? An eyeball had to be extracted, and apparently an eyeball was extracted somewhat, so we got somebody losing their eye. Then they gave you the excuse that the eye, if it's not, or if the eyeball nerve is not severed or whatever the fuck they were talking about backstage, then he won't lose his vision. Of course he won't lose his fucking vision.
I love that part. They had Charlie back there reporting like she was Dr. House, dude. She had the fucking diagnosis and the prognosis all ready to go.
Man, she memorized that fucking script word for word like she was a fucking pro.
Man, give me a fucking break, dude. Come on.
Oh,
that
man.
was.
Jacob, thank you for the $5, man. But it don't matter, bro. It really don't matter. Matt Eagle, $5. Thank you, man. I can always count on JD and Britt Baker's number one fanboy, Jesse, to provide a more entertaining show than WWE's horror show. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. CC Steven, $10. Hi, JD. One more question for both you and Jesse. If MJF is the next in line for the AEW title, then who should be the next TNT champion? I say Scorpio Sky, but then I can't leave out Darby or Orange Cassidy. You can make a case for any one of those guys. I'll be fine with any one of those guys, but I don't know. And that's the great thing about the TNT title. Whoever Cody Rhodes loses it to clearly would play a factor into whatever the fuck this means. And I'm doing the 4. It's going to lead to something where he leaves Arn and maybe goes with Tully, and then we start to see the birth of the new version of the Four Horsemen. What do you think, Jesse? If MJF is the next in line, who should be the next in line for the TNT Championship?
MJF for TNT Championship?
No, if MJF is the next in line for the AEW title, who's next in line for the TNT title after Cody?
That's Darby. That's Darby.
Darby Allin.
That's Darby all day long, man.
There you go. Darby Allin, says Jesse CC. Thank you for the $10. Lakefront Studios with a $20 bomb. WWE Uncreative killed the Asuka Sasha match with a screwjob dusty finish. It reminded me of WrestleMania 9. Bret Hart versus Yokozuna and Hulk Hogan just coming in and wandering to the ring, and then Bret blinded by salt. Go get the title. And Hogan wins the title in 9 seconds after Bret just went 20 minutes with Yokozuna. That's what it reminded me of. Bruce is a fucking loser. And he was there for that too, so I'm not surprised. CJ Voorhees, 93, $5 super chat. Bruce, what happened tonight? What happens every night? Bruce is tired, bro. Thank you for the $5. Justin, $20 bomb. As soon as Ziggler announced the stipulation, I just immediately thought of Rhino versus John Cena from 2004 episode of SmackDown, because the match had the same stipulation. It was something I had already saw 16 years ago. Oh, but Dolph Ziggler said it was something that we'd never seen before. So clearly he must be, maybe he wasn't a fan back then. So, 2004, John Cena Rhino. Thank you for the history lesson, Justin. I appreciate that. My boy, Guardian of Chaos, $10 bomb. Bro, you're my go-to source in the industry over Sap, LaBar, Solid Monster, Alvarez. Appreciate the hustle. Craft beers on me. Right up I-95. Jesse is a great partner, but I'm available, JD. Maybe, man. Maybe. You got where are you exactly, man? Rhode Island, Staten Island. Where are you? You got to tweet me. Where the fuck are you? Because, what are you saying? What are you saying? What?
I muted him once tonight for calling me a Britt Baker fan or something.
Oh, Guardian?
Yeah.
He's a Mets fan, but he's a good guy.
Nice. He's awesome, man.
We got to get together, man. It seems like you and I would have a blast for sure. But thank you for the $10 bomb. Lonnie Barker, $5. Oh, man, we got some more super chats coming. Holy shit. We got a lot here tonight, man. Keep up the good work, brother. Thank you, man. Justin with another $10 bomb. According to reports I've been reading, Adam Cole's current contract doesn't expire for another 18 months. There are other reports that say Adam Cole already signed a multi-year. We don't know.
We don't know.
As long as he is somewhere in a prominent role, that's all I give a shit about. Really. All love here, $2 super chat. Hopefully you have cooler neighbors than your I don't have any neighbors. I'm in a corner apartment and nobody is above or below me right now. So we're good to go. Anthony, $199. Sorry you watched this crap, and now Monday's Raw. I know, man. It sucks. Christian King, 99 cents. Thank you, man. WC4, $2. You think AEW should have TNT titles? Watch MLW. They have a TNT title. What are you talking about, man? TNT tag team title? What are you talking about? And I know I don't watch MLW. I think they're trash. Your boy Chris, $9.99. What's up, man? What's up, JD and Jesse? Much love to you guys. My rating on the show was a 1.5 in my opinion. Love the content, bro. Keep it up, Jesse. What's your favorite baseball team? Yankees, I'm assuming.
I'm from the south side of Chicago, man. Who do you think my favorite baseball team is?
The Cubs.
Come on. Can I block you in the chat?
Huh? No? The Cubs.
Oh, fucking Cubs, man. Come on.
The White Sox guy over here.
Hey, thank you, man.
There you go. White Sox.
Look, you hear a lot of stories about this team rivalry thing. You might get beat up in this. No, man, you cannot go in certain parts of the South Side of Chicago and say you're a Cubs fan. I'm not exaggerating that. I'm telling you, man. People have been beat up for much worse in these parts.
Yeah, well, I've been to Chi-Town twice, and I've wanted to go to Wrigley and see the sights, but I've refrained.
Cubs fans are assholes, man. Don't get me started.
Yeah,
Don't.
Everybody's fan base is an asshole. Cubs fans
No,
are
just the-
assholes. Boston fans are
I
assholes.
said Cubs
New York
fans
fans are
assholes.
assholes. It's all the same shit.
Yeah. Well, we know New York people are assholes.
Yeah. You're looking at one.
That's
Josh
damn right.
Nelson, $5 super chat. Can't wait to hear Bully Ray on Busted Open talk about how great this show was. Bully Ray's a shill, and now he's a free agent. Apparently, he was on the fucking reaction live stream that they did. So, whatever the case may be, he'll probably end up back as an agent there in WWE. Stinky Toffee 12, 199 pound. Did you notice Bray's huge bald patch? No, I didn't. I was too busy not paying attention to the garbage that was the swamp fight. Joker in the Bronx, $2 super chat. Byron Saxton is pure trash. Sometimes he is, sometimes he's tolerable, but I'm not really too keen on Byron Saxton. David Works, $2 super chat. I'm dropping SmackDown for Impact on Axis. Fuck SmackDown. Good for you, bro. You're making the jump over to Impact after a good show. Great. I want to see how long that lasts. Omen 666. Oh my God, man. $4.99. What up, Skag? My buddy. My good buddy Omen. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Good to see you. Hopefully you and the wife are doing well. And I hope that you're loving your new place, man. So thank you for stopping by. Hayes McLovin, $4.99. Hey, JD, what's up from Queens? I just want to thank you for your streams. They helped me tremendously throughout the pandemic. Thank you, brother. And we got Anthony Liccardo with a $1.99 super chat. Fox will never renew this contract. 3 years in WWE is dead. Who gives a shit? You know who's dead? We are, because I'm fucking tired of talking about this show. Guys, we're getting out of here. Thank you so very much for all your support. Jesse, any final parting words before we get the hell out of here?
No, man. I enjoy watching this fantastic show with you tonight, and I can't wait to watch more WWE product, man.
Oh yeah, man. We can't wait. We can't wait. We're like those UK guys, man. We can't wait to give thumbs up all week.
Thumbs up.
Fuck out of here, man. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. We are getting out of here. I will see you on Monday Night Raw for the show tomorrow night. I'll be live tweeting. Off the Script will be live as always. So I'll see you guys then. Check out all the other content that you missed on the channel. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thank you for probably making this the #1 live stream in the IWC for your Extreme Rules post-show coverage. And until
Awesome
then,
numbers.
What do you got to say? What, you love Britt Baker? I know. Thank you.
Hey, no, on a serious note, thanks for everybody's support. I'm looking at the numbers here tonight. That's phenomenal, guys. Thank you. Spread the word. Thank you very much. Hit that thumbs up, please.
Thank you guys so much. Let me get the transition here. We got this up. Let me hit my music. I'm getting the hell out of here. Thank you guys so very much. I'll see you later.